back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GO to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code GO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
The City of Stars has a new superstar.
Luka Doncic joining forces with the Los Angeles Lakers is a seismic event in NBA history.
The home of Luka and the Lakers, the ESPN LA Lakers radio network.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What's happening, LA?
Island, best show on the radio.
I love that jingle.
It kind of still feels surreal.
It does.
Even now that he's been introduced and we know he's coming to the lake. I was doing my charts for the game tonight, which I do for every game, and I can't believe I took out AD and Max and put in Luka, and I'm like, Luka Doncic is on the Lakers?
Yeah.
Can't wait. Cannot
By the way,
wait.
you just said, is it officially Doncic or Doncic?
I've always said Doncic.
Yeah, I don't know what the correct. Yesterday I was saying
But
Doncic.
I will ask him.
Yeah,
I'll see him tonight.
We
I
should
believe
know.
it's Doncic.
You think it's Doncic?
Yeah, I think according to Basketball Reference, it's Doncic.
Oh, they spell it out? There's a phonetic spelling
Let
on
me
it.
get it. Hold on.
I was also looking. At one point, his nickname, is it true that at one point his nickname was Wonder Boy?
Wonder
I've never
Boy.
heard that.
Yeah, I mean it's on his it's on his page. That and Luka Magic is the other one that's on his page. He was introduced earlier today at the UCLA sports training facility, and I never get the name of that place right, but I was close there. And
UCLA Health Training Center.
there you go. Thank you.
So according to Basketball Reference, it's L-O-O, so Luka with K-U-H, then D-O-N-C-H-I-T-C-H, Doncic.
That's okay. So at least
Doncic.
according to Basketball Reference,
Doncic.
Doncic.
That's what I've always said.
You said
Doncic.
Doncic.
I've always said Sitch because that's how Jokic is.
Right. He's saying it's Doncic.
John Chich.
I'll ask him now.
Yeah. Find out tonight. Anyways, now that we got out of the way, I think that I'm super excited, John, because I'm going to the game on Saturday, and I'm bringing Juan to the game, and we're meeting a really good partner of ours, and it's possible that Luka could play. There's no guarantee, but it's been reported that he could potentially play on Saturday against Indiana.
I was thinking that. Okay, so let's talk about the schedule.
Okay.
I don't think he's definitely not playing tonight.
No.
Okay. Thursday they play the Warriors, and I think that's too soon.
Yes.
Okay. So it'd be really fun to see him play before the All-Star game, but is it smart? And here's why I'm asking.
Mm-hmm.
After that Indiana game, we have back-to-back games. Well, there's a day off in between, but we have a home game with Utah and a road game at Utah.
Yep.
I don't think you need him to win those games. So do you just let him sit and ramp up over the All-Star break? If he doesn't play Saturday, is what I'm saying. If he's good to play Saturday.
You wouldn't not necessarily play Monday. Is it Monday, Wednesday next week? Monday, Wednesday.
If he's good to play Saturday, then put him in there because you can get 3 games in before the break.
Right.
But if he's not, do you play him against Utah?
Well, the thing you don't want to do, you don't want to punt any games. Like tonight's going to be very tough. They do not match up well against the Clippers.
Greg, look up what the Clippers are favored by. I always love being this. If I had to guess, I would say it's probably Clippers by 8.
Clippers by 8.
Super, super close. You always got to put a hook in there, Ireland. Which way do you go?
I would go 8.5.
8.5 is the right answer.
Nice.
Yeah. But I think, and then maybe Indiana would be a coin flip game where they'd be, either team be favored by 2-3 points. But the Lakers will be favored in both those Utah games. Utah's not good.
No. Yeah, they've been. Maybe they can. Maybe they can leave us Walker Kessler on the way out the door.
How great would that be?
That would be so good. And by the way, fits the next decade plan because he's only 23 years old, right? I mean, he does fit. You got a 25-year-old Luka, a 23-year-old Walker Kessler. That's a nice one too. But the one thing I don't want to do is, and I had somebody at the gym last night say, "Oh well, they obviously are are not going to win this season. I'm like, I'm not ready to say that.
Yeah,
I think
I haven't ruled that out.
Something can happen in the next 48 hours. And by the way, they're just going to be really good. And we don't know what the combination is between those two guys. 1 plus 1 might equals 3. Does that make sense? No. Does that make sense? 1 plus 1 might equal 3.
It doesn't not make sense.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, it may add up to more than the sum of its parts. Those two guys playing together could be just an unstoppable force. So, I'm incredibly excited for it. I just think it's such good news. Now, there is a continued reaction in the world of sports to this. And coming up next, a guy that thinks the trade should just be voided. It's totally not fair. Get rid of it altogether.
And a guy who has worked in Dallas for 41 years and says he has never, ever, involving Cowboys, Rangers, Mavs, he's never seen a reaction in Dallas like this. We'll play that for you, too.
What's on tap today on 710 ESPN? Thank you to our friends at Michelob Ultra. Lakers at Clippers. Coverage starts on 710 at 5:30, and, of course, on the all-new ESPN LA app. Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, only worth it if you enjoy it.
All right, let me tell you guys about Southern California Toyota dealers. If you need a reliable vehicle, and, in light of the fires and all the devastation in Southern California, it's never been more important to have a reliable car. If you're in that boat, you gotta contact your Southern California Toyota dealer. They have year after year delivered quality, reliability, and simply the best vehicles on the road. Right now, you can choose from new vehicles like the 25 Land Cruiser, the 25 GR Corolla, or the limited 25th edition 25 Highlander Hybrid. Great deals waiting for you right now. All you got to do is see your Southern California Toyota dealers or visit Toyota.com. Toyota, we make it easy.
The City of Stars has a new superstar.
Why do we grill to order at Waba Grill?
It's just better for you.
Right now, get our valuable combo for only $8.99. Waba Grill, it's for you.
ESPN LA and Beverly Hills Ortho are teaming up because we want to know who's smiling in SoCal. Go to ESPNLA.com and nominate who you think is making LA a better place. Could be a mentor, a teacher, a coach, a good Samaritan, or you could nominate yourself. You could win prizes like sweet tickets, Sonic Care electric toothbrushes, whitening treatment, or the grand prize, Invisalign. Enter now at ESPNLA.com, and remember, you're always smiling at Beverly Hills Ortho.
For you. Hey guys, it's Cap. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement, and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gat, one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms. Avner Gat knows how to fight back when your insurance company makes you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting into your home and getting it all back together. With decades of experience and a passion for helping people, Avner and his family take the call themselves. So whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you call Avner Gat today at 818-917-5256, or you go to avnergat.com. It's 818-917-5256 or avnergat.com. You call, Avner answers, he says hello. Your claim is our game. avnergat.com.
Plan your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, official Native American resort and casino of the Los Angeles Lakers. See for yourself what made readers of Newsweek and USA Today name Pechanga the best casino outside of Las Vegas. Pechanga has world-class resort amenities, exceptional entertainment, dining, spa, and golf, and 24/7 gaming excitement. The immense casino floor and 1,100 rooms and suites makes Pechanga one of the largest in the country. Skip the traffic, head for Pechanga Resort Casino off the I-15 in Temecula. Visit Pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA for reservations.
He's coming. Here he comes. Surprise! Your table saw broke. Also, the warranty expired weeks ago, so you need to pay for a new one out of pocket.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Oh, and the replacement part you ordered doesn't fit, so it's completely useless. What a waste.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Welcome to TGL presented by SoFi, golf's newest league. It's sharp and it's electric. How is it sharp? How is it electric? Good questions. Try this on for size. 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime, forcing, playoffs on the line, golf. With 24 of the best players from the PGA Tour. Split into 6 teams. Atlanta, Boston, Jupiter, LA, New York, and the Bay. This isn't your average Sunday pickup game. Tune in every week for TGL matches, only on ESPN. Keep up. It's golf.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles, and we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
Well, first of all, it's very nice. You know, there's a lot of people here. I don't think there's ever been so many people in my press conference, so I really appreciate all the support.
Never had so many people at his press conference before. Luka Doncic introduced as the brand new member of the Los Angeles Lakers earlier today in El Segundo. Everybody is excited about this, although some people are like, Lakers getting what they want and, teeing them up, and Lakers exceptionalism, all that kind of stuff. And one guy who's complaining, John, is Jason Whitlock. Now, I don't follow Jason Whitlock. You obviously found this. What's his issue? Do you want to just play it?
Well, Jason is a professional stir the pot
Yes,
guy.
he is.
He likes to say things to get people to react, and this would fall under that category. He thinks that the NBA should step in and void the Doncic for AD trade. Here's Jason Whitlock.
We got to avoid this Luka Doncic trade. David Stern has to come out from his grave and talk some sense into Adam Silver. The Luka Doncic trade makes no sense. It undermines the credibility of not just the NBA, but all of professional sports. The credibility of professional sports has never been lower. We spent this entire NFL season talking about officiating. Is it scripted? Are they favoring the Chiefs? Whether that conversation is fair or unfair, it is the conversation happening about America's #1 sport, football. We've already had the conversation as it relates to the NBA and the whole Tim Donaghy scandal. We've seen David Stern previously say, hey, look, you can't just give Chris Paul to the Lakers. This is unfair. It looks bad for the league. Nothing the NBA has done looks worse than this.
Nothing that the NBA... Now, obviously, they're not going to do this, and he's trolling and all that kind of stuff. I will say this. It is in a weird way, I'm not surprised. In a weird way, I'm not surprised that the Lakers
I'm glad you aren't, because I'm shocked.
I'm not surprised that they found a way to address the post-LeBron era the way that they have. And this is going to go down. I mean, Rob Pelinka's out there saying it's a seismic shift. It is absolutely a seismic shift. And he is a huge element of that. I mean, he's found a way to plan for when LeBron goes, which I think is just amazing. Now, this year, John, you said, I don't know if defense matters. Defense is still going to matter. The Lakers, do you think they got better or worse in a isolated situation this year? Did they get better or worse right now? They were coming off a tremendous win at New York. They were 9 games over 500. They were rolling pretty good. And I was starting to think, hey, there might be something here. Are they better or worse than they were before the trade?
I think they're a little worse.
Yes.
But because they'd won 8 of 9, AD was the defensive anchor and all that. That win in New York was spectacular. But, again, I know I said this before, but I need to see what LeBron and Luca look like together on the court at the same time to tell you whether or not they took a step back.
Yes.
They could come out and drop a 50-point quarter on somebody.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, God, nobody can contain these guys. It's like, I've used Marshall Faulk was the best college player I ever saw.
Mm-hmm.
And when he got to the Rams, it was like, oh, God, now they have a running back to add to, Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt and Kurt Warner. And, they may be so good offensively that defense matters less, if that makes sense. But I think when the playoffs start, you've got to be locked in defensively. I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to do to defend the Clippers tonight. And again, I'll say it: their game plan against the Knicks defensively on Saturday was the best game plan I've seen in years.
Right.
They took Karl Anthony Towns out of the game. They took Jalen Brunson out of the game. They out-rebounded him.
By the way, that's one guy that's not here anymore. He probably wouldn't have taken Jalen Brunson out of the game. I think Jalen Brunson went for 40 or something last night.
Yeah.
I mean, Max Christie did an unbelievable on-ball defensive job on Jalen Brunson. Bergman, I ask you, are the Lakers just right now?
Just for this year, right
Just for this year, right now, 2024, 2025, are they better or worse than they were as a team before this trade?
They are worse as a team right now. If you're just going in a vacuum for this year,
in a vacuum
100%
this year.
they are worse right now. What they're for the future, 1,000 times better.
100%. This is a trade that's made for that window that's open in post-LeBron. Ask the same question. Is Dallas better or worse? Are they more likely to advance? Are they more likely to go to the Western Conference Finals and maybe the Finals after this trade, post-Luka trade, adding Anthony Davis and adding Max Christie? I think it's probably the second best team in the West.
I wouldn't disagree with you, but again, until we see what they look like.
Right.
And you've always been of the opinion that you can't trust Kyrie.
No, I don't know what you're going to get. Although he's been so steady for a while now.
Yeah.
I mean, through that finals run last year, very, very steady. So maybe he has truly settled down. But you're right, he's a bit of a wild card.
Dallas has added a legitimate top 5 defensive center in Anthony Davis, and has added a legitimate on-ball point guard defender in Max Christie, and they're adding it to Daniel Gafford and P.J. Washington and everything else that's there. This is one of the best defensive teams in the league now. So I'm agreeing with you. I think they are the second best team in the NBA.
So in a weird way, like to attack
this year,
to attack what Whitlock said. Technically, maybe Dallas got a little better, weirdly, and the Lakers got a little worse. It's the exact for this year, for right now.
Suggesting you void the trade is absurd.
It's insane.
Everything Whitlock says is absurd.
Yeah, everything he says.
I've been talking to a lot of people in Dallas, texting, and they're all stunned.
Yeah.
And I wanted to find something that would maybe put this in perspective. So Tim Cowlishaw is one of the guys on Around the Horn. Sedano's on that show a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Tim has been with the Dallas Morning News as a columnist for 41 years. All right, so he's been there forever. Listen to what he says about how people in Dallas feel about this trade.
Trying to remember anything that has shocked and upset fans like this, and it's even though the Mavericks got rid of Jason Kidd when he was 23 and they let Steve Nash go when he was 29, there is nothing to compare to this. A first team All-NBA player 5 years in a row. Now they're finding out all these deficiencies, which we already know. He's not much of a defender, and he does get hurt. Yeah, which team in the West has been to 2 of the last 3 Western Conference Finals? I think it's Luka's team. So let's not pretend he was just such damaged goods they couldn't afford to give him a Supermax deal. This is a very, very strange and, for the fans, upsetting deal that Nico Harrison has done. They're playing in a very short window now for AD and Kyrie and Klay Thompson to be part of a championship. They're all 32 and older, or AD's about to turn 32. The others are older. And they would have had Luka forever. You know, they had Dirk here for 21 years. There was this nice bridge one year from Dirk to Luka. Fans felt immensely privileged. He was a beloved player here. There's 77 jerseys everywhere. And people, shock doesn't begin to explain how they feel.
Yeah. Yesterday there were scenes they brought there was a protest, and they brought a coffin to the protest. The Mavericks today, John, have offered refunds for the remaining home games this season to fans who have canceled their season tickets.
Wow.
They're saying,
I don't remember that happening.
No, I don't remember that. That's very reflective of the outrage in Dallas. If you have season tickets, we understand we're going to refund the rest of the year. I mean, that's how upset people are. So, I think it's fascinating for sports. It's fascinating for the Lakers. We're set up now for a decade. I could not be more enthusiastic about this. Now, I do have some other kind of stuff that I want to get to, but I wanted to mention this. The Luke Robitaille show is coming up at 1:15. And, John, you missed the Luke Robitaille show last week.
Right.
It was fantastic.
I thought we were calling it "What's the Puck?" or
What the puck? We bounced that off Luke, and Luke. How was Luke's reaction to that? He was like,
he liked it. He thought we should do it. We just need some time to get it all worked out for the opening and all that.
All right. So one thing that'll be fun to ask Luke about is I'm pretty sure I just texted Mike Altieri from the Kings.
Yep.
But I'm 99% sure that Luke was on the Kings roster when they traded for Gretzky in '88.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows how this feels when you get a megastar out of nowhere that just comes into your locker room. And that was, he energized hockey in this town like never before.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, the other interesting angle is that Luka is the greatest Slovenian athlete of all time, and Andrej Kopitar is probably the second most accomplished athlete in Slovenian history, and that actually is the subject of Game of Games today. I did a lot of work on that last night. Spent some time on that. You'll learn about Slovenia today. Hey, it's Super Week on 710. Thanks to our friends at Islands for helping make sure we got the Super Squares going. Listen for the cue to call. Be caller number 7 or 10 and win 2 squares on our Islands Super Board to be randomly selected by us. And on Sunday, you can win fantastic gift cards from Islands. Brought to you by Islands Restaurants. It's time to visit paradise. All right, coming up next for you, Wheel of Questions. In the meantime, Laker fans, you know what it takes to be a champion. It's strategy, it's skill, it's a winning team, and that's exactly what you need after an accident. Car crash, truck accident, slip and fall. You're down in the fourth quarter, but the game isn't over. That's when you call Jacob Amrani. Jacob is he's first of all an official sponsor of the Los Angeles Lakers. He's a diehard fan and proud Angelino who's been fighting for the people of SoCal for over 27 years. He knows this city, its teams, most importantly, how to take on insurance giants who try to lowball you when you need your help the most. He studies their weaknesses, goes on the attack, and fights to get you the win that you deserve. L.A. never backs down, and neither does Jacob. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the game and call Jacob. 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. 844-24-JACOB. Or remember,
accident or injury, call Jacob Amrani. Call Jacob.
And if you or a loved one has been injured or lost property because of the recent wildfires, lawsuits have been filed against those responsible. Please call Jacob for a free case evaluation or help in reviewing your insurance policy and claims. Together, we are LA Strong. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Why do we grill to order at Waba Grill?
It's just better for you.
Right now, get our valuable combo for only $8.99. Waba Grill, it's for you.
I say that, and many legends pass here, many championships, so that's my goal.
This is the home of LeBron, Luca, and the Lakers. 710 ESPN.
And it is Island Super Week on 710 ESPN. Callers number 7 and number 10 right now. You get to pick a square on our Island Super Square board for your chance to win fabulous prizes from Island's restaurants. Island Boy. Who has the coldest beer in town? Of course, our favorite Island's restaurants with those frosty mugs of beer paired with the best burgers and fries. It's time to visit paradise. Callers number 7 and 10 and keep listening for your chance to win on 710 ESPN.
Hey, it's D4. If you're like me, you just don't want to watch the game. You want the best experience every time. That's why Absolute Sport is a game changer. VIP access to the biggest games, exclusive pregame parties, luxury hotels, whether it's courtside, ringside, or the 50-yard line, Absolute Sport makes sure you're there, not just watching, you're living the action. Visit us.absolute-sport.com. That's ABSOLUT-sport and make your next sporting experience absolutely unforgettable.
Hey guys, it's Cap, and if you're looking to sell your home, call Seller's Advantage. They'll make you a great cash offer with no need for repairs. They buy it as is. With Seller's Advantage, there are no agents. They can close within days, and they buy with cash. They'll even offer a $10,000 advance to help with moving costs and other expenses. Check out their reviews online and call for a no-obligation offer at 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747, and visit sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GO to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code GO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
And it is the biggest show on the radio, Mason and Ireland, here each weekday. You know what it's time for? What is this? It's time for Wheel of Questions. Producer Brian Cohen, are you ready with that wheel? Hit it, Jack.
There's Luke. All right, this is a controversial question, John. It's controversial.
I'm ready.
So there's a woman who claims to have slept with 600 men in 2024.
Okay.
She's now promising to up the ante in 2025 and sleep with 1,000 men.
Okay. So that'd be like 3 guys a day,
Three
right?
guys. Now, do you really believe this woman is doing the stuff that she's saying, or is she pulling a Wilt Chamberlain?
I think it's the latter.
Yeah.
I do not think she will sleep with 1,000 people in 2025.
Yeah. Bergman, 1,000 people.
I think she did it.
Well, no, she hasn't done it yet.
No,
she's going to.
But you think she did 600 in 2024?
I do.
And she's upping the ante to 1,000.
I think she filmed it.
No, did she really?
Well, I know
I'm
sometimes
sure it's
they
like
do.
on her.
They do. If you're going to do it, you're not going to do it in secret.
Right.
That's
She's
something
probably
that's
got
going to be out there for you to
an
see.
OnlyFans or
an
one of those
OnlyFans
things,
or
yeah.
a Pornhub.
She's
or
monetizing
whatever.
this somehow. Yeah,
100%. And she will do 1,000, and she will get paid for it.
So who's paying her? Like Pornhub's paying her?
Yeah, I guess
Probably.
Pornhub would pay, or if it's behind a paywall like OnlyFans, it would work.
Maybe.
Brian, what do you think?
Oh, I 1,000% believe it.
You believe it?
I believe it. Yeah.
Thank you,
There
Brian.
are people out here that this is what they do. So, and it's all part of the bit. You know, now it's like a thing.
It is a thing,
but it can't be enjoyable. I mean,
no.
I mean, to
It
not be
can't-
crude.
It can't be. I
How
mean,
do you
it
not-
seems
how
like
do
just
you not
work
be
at that point.
Yeah.
It's
It
just like
seems like another
it's
job.
like in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, and then just
All
go.
right, that's enough. That's enough.
Like there's not. I'm trying to do it in the
Can I ask
nicest
you,
way possible.
Can I ask you something I'm confused by?
Yeah, right.
All right. So Cooper Kupp came out yesterday saying he's breaking up with the Rams.
Yeah. Well, the Rams are breaking up with him.
Right. There's he's not happy about it. He says he doesn't want it.
He says he thought he'd start and finish in L.A.
Right. This is about money, right?
100% about money.
Okay.
It's about $20 million.
So at any point, did the Rams ask him to take a pay cut? Because wouldn't that make sense? I mean, I think the Rams would love to have him, but not at $20 million a year. Or can you not do that?
I don't know. I'm not a cap guy, so I can't necessarily speak to that. I know they saved $20 million by moving off of him. And I'll tell you, the thing is, John, nobody may trade for him at that number. It's possible that no team says, yeah, we'll pay $20
which means
million.
the Rams would have to literally pay for him to go away.
Correct. They'd have to pay money for him to leave.
Here's what scares me. You know what team really needs a slot receiver? 49ers.
Yeah, they do. I mean, definitely.
I don't think the Rams would trade him to the 49ers, but if the scenario you just shared comes up, like nobody wants him because he makes too much money and the Rams buy him out and he can go anywhere, wouldn't it be incredibly painful to you and other Rams season ticket holders if he came back on the Niners and helped the Niners beat the Rams?
Yeah. Now, in Vegas right now, the odds are 50-1 that San Francisco gets Cooper Kupp.
Who's the likely spot?
The Chargers.
Makes sense.
3-1.
Wouldn't have to move.
Buffalo 4-1. Pittsburgh 5-1, Denver 6-1, and the Raiders 7-1.
Raiders would be great.
By the way, we haven't talked about this, but Chip Kelly, now the offensive coordinator of the Las Vegas Raiders. Bergman, this is one of your favorite people. You love Chip Kelly. You've always been a huge fan. You loved him in his days at UCLA.
Wait a minute, Greg.
Yeah.
Before you get all worked up about this.
I'm not worked up.
Yeah, you are. You told me.
Sad.
Yeah, sad.
Well, wait a minute. I don't think it matters if Chip is a coordinator. It matters if Chip is your head coach. As a coordinator, he just won the national title. He knows how to draw up offensive plays. What you don't want is Chip Kelly to be your head coach because he hates the media, he hates the alumni, and he doesn't want to
He just likes ball.
Yeah.
So.
Ball. Matter of fact, who played for him came on our air once and said, yeah, Chip's all about playing ball, and today is Kobe Walsh's birthday.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday, Kobe.
Happy birthday, Kobe. But so everything you're saying, John, is 1,000% correct. However, now you have the two biggest entities that destroyed UCLA football on one team. Pete Carroll destroyed UCLA in the 90s, in the 2000s, and Chip Kelly destroyed them from the inside.
Right, he destroyed
for the
them
last
from
6
within.
years.
Yeah.
So it's just very visceral hate towards this man.
No, I
don't
think
care if you're a coordinator, a special teams coordinator, a ball boy. I don't want you on my team, period, end of story. I can handle Pete Carroll. That makes sense.
But why do you care if he's a coordinator? He's not going to be a public face in the organization.
I don't want him around.
But he had success. Obviously, I just looked up Oregon. He was 46-7 at Oregon.
He was after that. He was not
right.
anywhere near
didn't
those
have a great
numbers.
Run at UCLA.
Oregon was like 10 years ago.
But Ohio State seemed very happy with Chip Kelly this year while winning the national championship.
College, they gave him $6 million. He's the highest paid coordinator in the NFL. Look, he might do well. I just hate the fact that the two people that destroyed my favorite team in the history of the sport in college, they're on the same team, on my team. I hate it.
I love the Pete Carroll hire. I think that it's a rare example of the Raiders doing something smart.
Absolutely.
And I don't mind the Chip Kelly hire.
I hate it.
As long as he's a coordinator and not the head coach, I'm okay with it.
You want to see the camera panning to him all the time?
When I heard about this, I immediately smiled and thought of Greg Bergman.
You know how many tweets I got about
I can only
this?
imagine you and Chip Kelly.
So many. It's my worst nightmare.
Yeah,
it's legitimately my worst nightmare.
So when I think I told you guys the story yesterday when the Luka trade was going down, I got 117 texts in a 2-hour period. You know who the very first one was from? Jacob Amrani.
Oh, Jacob, sure.
He with 3 words. Is this real? And I'm like, what is he talking about? And then boom, like 100 other texts.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So
is Jacob coming in today, Greg?
Yep, sure is.
Oh, he is coming in. Okay, good. Yeah, so we got him coming up. Now, one thing that we've got an issue with is I know you put out a game schedule. We've sort of trashed it because of certain things, but we've decided that Friday, Radio Michael fans should do the
Wednesday.
game. No.
Are you moving Brian to Wednesday?
We're moving Brian to Wednesday, Michael Thursday, and then Friday. I think the guy who is the biggest critic of our bad games, Radio Michael fan, who says this one's the worst and this one's second worst and whatever, the Harry Potter game, all those games.
That was a great game.
That Harry Potter game was the worst.
It was the worst game. It was so terrible. Everybody hated it.
The only game worse than the Harry Potter game was Pepe's Which One is More Wrong game.
Well, that was number 1. I think the Harry Potter game is 9th worst, according to Radio Michael.
But do you think Radio Michael fan would do the game?
He should do the game.
He should do the game.
If you think everything is so bad.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, this is how little faith I have in him.
Okay.
I have a backup game in case he tanks
good.
it.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Radio Michael fan, DM me your game for Friday.
Let's go, Radio Michael fan. Let's see what you got. Oh, do you know we started a new thing while you were gone? Greg Bergman's Statistical Sleuth.
How does that work?
Greg is, in his many preparations for the show, comes across a statistic or a number that intrigues him. It is generally an unusual number.
Something weird.
That is something weird. So, Bergman, today, Statistical Sleuth, what do you got?
According to Codify, the most games with 10-plus strikeouts, pitchers under 21 years of age in the last 43 MLB seasons is Dwight Gooden with 26. Everybody else combined has 20, and no one else has more than 3.
Take that for data.
There you go.
Wait a minute.
You don't believe this?
Well, what if you're saying under the age of 21?
Under the age of 21.
Under the age of 21, 10-plus strikeouts, last 43 MLB seasons.
What about Kerry Wood?
Kerry Wood was pretty electric. I don't.
No, most games with 10. So nobody else has more than 3. So Kerry Wood did not have 3. More than 3.
Huh.
No, don't question these statistical sleuth.
These are
I'm
real
questioning it.
stats.
Yeah. No, he got them from somewhere legitimate.
And didn't Roger Clemens make the big leagues before he turned 21?
I do not recall that. I mean, I
don't have.
No, because Roger Clemens went to college. He went to
That's
Texas.
right, he
and
did.
Randy Johnson went to college. He went to USC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, there you got that. Coming up next, we're going to do some radio graffiti. Sports graffiti, 877-710-ESPN, still reacting to the acquisition of Luka Doncic, who was introduced today in El Segundo as the brand new member of the Los Angeles Lakers. He will not play tonight against the Clippers, but there is a chance he'll play on Saturday against Indiana or on Monday against Utah. We will find out. If not, maybe they wait until after the All-Star break. We'll see. 877-710-ESPN. 877-710-ESPN. Get some of your calls in here next for Sports Graffiti. Mason in Ireland, 710-ESPN.
Somehow, someway, the superstars end up in Los Angeles.
You don't come here for nothing else than championship, so I have everything left.
Why do we grill to order at Waba Grill?
It's just better for you.
Right now, get our Value Bowl combo for only $8.99. Waba Grill, it's for you.
That is top 3 player in the universe.
I get to play in the greatest club in the world, and I'm excited for this new journey.
I can't think of a more amazing starting point to build a roster for the next decade, and I know he has the drive to win that we have here. Our fans are going to see that every night on the court.
This is the home of the Lakers and the new home of Luka. 710 ESPN.
Get ready for the concert event of the summer.
On the road again.
Catch Willie Nelson and family. Bob Dylan. Billy Strings. And more at the Outlaw Music Festival's 10th anniversary tour. Friday, May 16th, Hollywood Bowl. Pre-sale for City Card members now through Thursday at 10 p.m. before the general public on sale Friday at 10 a.m. More details at Ticketmaster.com.
Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. And with the big game almost here, it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last football game of the season with Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching the big game. Prize Picks is also giving away a free pick for the big game where one of the starting quarterbacks will only need to throw for 1 yard to win. If you're correct on at least one more projection, you can win real cash. Check out the promos tab to tail any of our Super Sweat Millie Winners big game lineups. If you tail a lineup that goes 3 for 3, you can win a split of $1 million in promo funds. Download the app today and use code TRAV to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code TRAV for first-time users. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Hey, it's Travis. And DeMarco with some important information. The Los Angeles Fire Department Foundation provides vital equipment and funds programs that help LAFD save lives and protect communities.
You can support your Los Angeles firefighters by donating today at supportlafd.org/give. Again, that's supportlafd.org/give or text LAFD to 24-365.
Thank you and stay safe.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station.
And it is Mason in Ireland, the OGs of LA Sports Radio.
Derrick Henry, the leading rusher in the NFL. That's the name you can't think of.
For a second, yeah.
Mason and Ireland.
710 ESPN.
All right, sports graffiti time, and all the lines are lit because everybody wanted to talk about the big trade and the introduction of Luka Doncic today over in El Segundo as the newest member of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Here we go with Adam hitting leadoff today. Adam, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Thanks, guys. So I know Mason doesn't like this guy, but Will Kane was on Ryan Russillo's podcast, which I know John has been referencing the last few days. He was on yesterday, and he said something that really stuck with me, and it resonates with me because I'm a big Laker fan, big Kobe fan. And he said that Nico Harrison decided to choose Luka, the asset, over the icon, and that's why so many people in Dallas are pissed. And I truly think that not that they're this similar, but I think in 2004 when Dr. Buss chose Kobe, it was because he knew he was going to be the icon that we all saw him become. And we are the beneficiaries of that dumb decision, and I can't wait.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, that's interesting. So he viewed Luka as an asset and not an icon.
Yeah, because you wouldn't trade an icon.
You wouldn't trade an icon, exactly.
Here's Kyle. Hey, Kyle, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Gentlemen, how are you?
Excellent.
Okay, I think the Mavs. Awesome. I think the Mavs are going to be worse moving forward than the Lakers are going to be better for this one reason. Ready? Back when Larry Bird was the coach of the Pacers, he was asked to trade for some of LeBron's teammates and said, I don't think those guys are as good as he's making them seem to be. Well, both Luka and LeBron are those kind of elevator players, and the Mavs just traded the way theirs. So I think we're going to be better than we seem, and they're going to be worse.
Okay.
All right. I think there's a good chance we could be better than it appears.
Totally possible.
I do not agree with him that Dallas will be worse. I know AD. I know Max.
Yeah.
They're going to be better. Mike, you're on Sports Graffiti. Mike, go.
How you doing, guys? Common sense. The Lakers, they're not done yet. There's another trade coming up. They're going to get power forward or center. If you look at the last 5 years, 10 years, the NBA game has changed. You just need to secure the shooting guard and the point guard. I mean, look at what they did at the Golden State. They won 4 championships. Look at the Dallas, what they did. So I'm happy with the trade for both teams, and I think the Lakers are on the right track. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you. Yeah, it's hard to win without anybody at center.
Right.
You know?
And I mean, obviously,
like last year, Kristaps Porzingis is a pretty good center.
And popped onto the market.
Right.
Right.
I mean, by the way, it was Dallas that let him go, wasn't it?
Exactly, it was. I mean, I still think if they want to compete this year, they need to add a piece or two.
I agree with you. David, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hey, guys, 2 quick questions. One, I haven't heard anyone talk about were the Lakers trying to get Derek Lively or Daniel Gafford to fill the center need. They could have given Dallas back Gabe Vincent. Also, to talk about what John was talking about, don't you think you want to see Luka in 1 or 2 games before the All-Star break so the coaches can strategize during the All-Star break?
Yeah, that's not a terrible idea about the second thing about it. I don't think Derek Lively would have been in the deal because he's 22 years old.
Yeah, he's an ascending player.
And he's out for a while. He's hurt. So, and Maxi Kleber, the guy they ended up getting, is pretty good. He's 6'10", he shoots threes, he's a good, really good.
But not going to play this year.
Really good defender. Greg, didn't you tell me there's a chance he might?
He's being reevaluated in 8 weeks.
In 8 weeks. So I guess.
Well, not out.
Yeah, not out. He
not
could come
completely
back for
out. Yeah,
run
I guess
in
it's
the
a
playoffs.
possibility. But my understanding was he's a long way off.
All right, here's Devin. Hey, Devin, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go, Devin.
Sports Graffiti's lit, the lines are lit, Laker fans are lit, LA's lit, ESPN 710's lit, baby. This move right here, what I don't hear people talking about, it's going to extend LeBron James's career, where we're talking about 1 more good year. I can see us getting 2 or 3 more good years out of LeBron and us hoisting that trophy in that time. I'm out.
All right, he's out.
I
love his enthusiasm.
He's already the oldest guy in the league.
Everybody's lit, according to him. We're all lit. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, the smart thinking is that LeBron next year might be the last year. We don't. I mean, there's no.
I'll say
it's
this.
It's been widely
on Saturday
speculated
night in
about.
New York with 4 All-Stars out on the floor, he was clearly the best
Oh, no
player.
question.
Not even close. Sean, you're on Sports Graffiti. Sean, go.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How do you guys? What do you guys think about an impactful player? They always say a quarterback in the NFL is the most impactful. Is getting a guy like Luka more impactful than getting a guy like a Tom Brady? It's real close comparison. I mean, everyone always says the quarterback more. And also, did the tier system make Dallas trade Luka with the new aprons and all that?
The aprons, yeah.
Maybe
Well,
on your last one.
It is possible because he was eligible for a $350 million Supermax this summer. And, it's been suggested that maybe the ownership there is in the casino business and doesn't really think about basketball much. I tend to think that Nico Harrison thinks he did the right thing. I think he thinks he made a good trade.
I'm not 100% sure, and maybe one day it'll come out.
Maybe.
That the owners forced him to do
Totally
this.
possible.
Remember when you and I were in San Diego when we started, way back in the day, and the Padres had a complete fire sale.
Oh, yeah.
They traded Fred McGriff and Gary Sheffield and Bruce Hurst and Andy Bennis and anybody on their team that was any good.
Everybody but Tony Gwynn.
Out the door. And they had a general manager named Randy Smith.
Yeah.
And his dad had been a general manager, and Randy was the youngest GM in the league, and his penance for being named the youngest GM in the league was to sell off everybody, and he never, even to this day, would admit that these were baseball decisions.
You think today he would not say it?
I know it. Because those were baseball decisions. No,
Yeah, they were ridiculous.
And I wonder if Nico was told, we are not paying Luka $350 million. Now that you know that, go do whatever you want. But we're not doing it. And then when Nico knew that, he thought, okay, well, I don't want to let the clock start on this because if they know I have to dump him, his value goes down.
So when Nico says this, I understand why they would be shocked initially, talking about fans, but I do believe that we positioned ourselves to win now and also win in the future, and that's ultimately the goal and why we're here. It's one of those things where it's my job to make tough decisions and put our goals first and foremost. It's your suggestion that maybe that's something you say when your owners tell you to do something.
Correct. That's what Randy Smith did. He basically went out there every time and took bullets for the ownership.
Right.
He went out and said, hey, these are baseball decisions.
Oh, God.
We think trading Gary Sheffield for a bag of beans is good baseball. And by the way, I don't think Randy ever got another GM job again.
No. Well, after that, sure.
All right, let's go to Harold. Hey, Harold, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
This is for John. John, why aren't the UCLA men's basketball team in the top 25?
Well, they had a lot of losses early, Greg. Where they have 8 or 9 losses already?
No, they have 6, I believe, or 7. They had 5 out of 6.
Big game tonight. They play Michigan State at Pauley tonight.
USC beat Michigan State
on Saturday.
Night.
They're favored tonight. UCLA favored by 2.5 tonight at home at Pauley.
But by the way, Harold, the team we should be talking about more are the UCLA women.
Yeah.
They're the only undefeated team in the country in women's basketball.
Yep.
South Carolina's not undefeated. USC lost over the weekend.
To Iowa on Caitlin Clark night.
Yeah, UCLA's women's team, it's the best women's team they've ever had. Kiki Rice, who's their All-American, looks like she's way better than even we thought she was going to be, and they might win the whole thing. And they've never won a national. UCLA's won more men's national championships in basketball than any school, 11. Right. But they've never won one in women. Well, yeah, Amy Myers won one back in the 70s, in the late 70s. But that's a team that's really good.
They have a center named Lauren Betts, who's by far the best player in the country right now. She is destroying everybody, doubles every night. She has a younger sister that's coming next year. She has a younger brother that's going to come possibly in a couple of years.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having Corey Close on one day. The coach, the UCLA coach, if they'll do it. I can
ask him.
Yeah, they may not do it.
Mason will want to talk to her.
No, I'll do it.
Well, if they're number one in the country and the only undefeated team,
I'll
talk about Lauren Betts with her. That's a crazy good player right now.
Okay, news. Sam Amick of The Athletic. League sources say the Lakers have had talks with Houston about 31-year-old big man Steven Adams, who's on an expiring deal worth $12.6 million. And while the two sides have been significantly apart with no signs that a deal will get done, those talks and offers some clarity as to what Pelinka has been thinking.
If we get Steven Adams, game on.
Yeah.
He's literally my favorite backup center in the league. First of all, he's from New Zealand.
Yep.
He is a mountain. You cannot move him.
Right.
He played 12 minutes against us when we played him in Houston. He had 8 offensive rebounds in 12 minutes. He's exactly what we need. I didn't think Houston would even consider giving him up because Houston's ahead of us.
Yeah, I know.
If Sam's right, and Sam is a really good reporter. All right, so let's talk about what would you give up for Steven? I'd give up, well, they probably won't give up that other number 1.
I don't think they'll give up the other number 1. It's a it's a hard deal to make, I think, because
I would give multiple number 2s and somebody to make the money work. I would do that. Steven Adams.
He's only making 12.4, so it's an easy number to match.
Yeah.
Oh, he's under contract for wait a minute. Oh no, I'm looking at. They're also interested in Robert Williams, who signed through next season, $12.4 million this year and $13.2 million next year. What do you think of him?
I don't like him as much as I like Steven Adams because Robert Williams is always hurt.
Right.
Steven Adams is a tank, literally a tank, and he is exactly what we need. He's big, he's physical. You cannot move him off the block, and so if we want to go small, we go LeBron and Luca with 3 wings. If you want to go big, you put Steven Adams in. I would absolutely love it.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's take a couple more. Armin, you're on Sports Graffiti. Armin, go.
Yeah, I got a couple questions. My first question is, if Pelinka called the Timberwolves and offered Reeves for Naz Reid, who would say no? And my second question is, what was the dumber trade, the Red Sox trading Mookie or the Mavericks trading Luka?
All right, let me ask your first question first. I do not think I don't think Naz Reid is that much better than Austin.
Yeah,
Reeves.
I mean, I would keep Austin Reeves in that scenario.
And as to your second thing, it's really interesting. I look at that Mookie Betts trade as the dumbest baseball trade I've ever heard. I mean, it made 0 sense. I think he was 27 at the time. He'd already won an MVP. He had 5 or 6 Gold Gloves. This Luka deal might be worse. The only reason that I would lean towards the Mookie deal being worse is I think the best player the Dodgers gave up in that deal was Alex Verdugo. Anthony Davis is a really good player and could hand a championship to Dallas.
Yeah, that is the difference. If you look at what Boston got for Mookie Betts, it's embarrassing. I mean, the guys, like Jeter Downs was there, didn't pan out. Connor Wong didn't pan out. You mentioned Alex Verdugo. He's not in Boston anymore. I think he's with the Yankees now, right?
Yeah,
we saw him in the World Series.
Last strikeout from Walker Buehler.
Yeah. So, if you look at that and you look at the take for Mookie Betts, at least they got an all-star. At least they got...
Sedano said yesterday, and I agree with him, that a basketball player can affect a franchise more than a baseball player can. Because baseball player's only up once every 9 times. A basketball player can just control the whole game.
Yeah. I mean, Mookie's super impactful, but you're right. The ball in Luka's hands is different than Mookie batting every ninth hitter. All right. Coming up next for you, it's the Luke Robitaille Show. We will talk to Luke about, we'll mention the Gretzky trade, absolutely.
Sure.
And whatever else comes up with Luke. The Luke Robitaille Show is always filled with unexpected turns. All right, let's tackle the age-old question. What do I get her for Valentine's Day? Do not stress. I've got the answer. Send foolproof flowers from the Books Company, and wow, your Valentine will be blown away. And you can get 25% off your entire purchase. Now listen up. Books makes it simple. You can choose, for example, the Quickie Bouquet. With the click of a button, get their best-selling bouquet right in time for Valentine's Day. It's the Quickie she's going to brag about for weeks. Or pick their collection of unique modern designs, or you can go for the flower subscription. #1 husband life hack. Be the hero every month. You cannot go wrong. Books, not just any flowers. Their flowers are cut fresh from where they grow best, so you get bigger, brighter blooms that last longer. Some even grown on the side of a volcano. She's going to be blown away by how stunning they are. Valentine's Day is February 14th, right after the big game on Sunday, so do not fumble the flowers. Get your order in now. Go to Books.com. Use my promo code ESPN for 25% off. That's BOUQS.com, promo code ESPN. Books, promo code ESPN. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Hi, my name is Victoria. I am from Sylmar, California, and I just want to say thank you to all the firefighters for everything that you've done. You are so brave, so just amazing and brave, and we appreciate everything you've done for the city.
I want to thank them. Without them, the fire wouldn't be the way it is right now. Little help
like you guys asked for. I got a few bobbleheads, a few jerseys, a few shirts that are brand new, and some baseball cards.
Thank you so much for the first responders and for the firefighters that are helping the community and the people of California, and especially Los Angeles. And thank you so much for your work, and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are the real heroes.
My name's Alfredo Famath, and I'm from Silmar, right next to the Hearst fire. We got evacuated, but I really want to thank the firefighters for saving my house and my friends' houses. I appreciate you guys, and without you guys, I don't know where to be at, probably without a home, but I really appreciate everything you guys do for us.
What's up, everybody? Cappy here, InsideCrypto.com, and I just want to take a second to thank all the first responders, the firefighters, but I'm going to take another direction here. I was talking about it on the air. Our friends at Lazy Dog and LA Live have been feeding all these firefighters. I'm going to send a shout out to all the wait staff who are feeding the firefighters, who can then feel good, be nourished, go to sleep, and then get out there and fight those fires. So to everybody that's helping, appreciate all y'all.
Hey, Henry Ramos here from El Monte. Hey, first responders, thank you for everything you guys are doing, and keep fighting on. And this is for Los Angeles. Thank you guys, and keep going. We love you, LA.
Savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
All right, here we go. It is time for the Luke Robitaille Show here on Mason and Ireland.
Go, Kings, go!
And as Luke likes to say, joining us right now, Luke Robitaille. Hi, Luke. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
You're doing excellent, Luke. And let me start with this. You were on the Kings. You were a young player on the Kings in '88 when they traded for Wayne Gretzky. When a guy like that, a guy that's, and at the time, Gretz was, I mean, universally known as the greatest hockey player on the planet. Luka Doncic, who the Lakers just traded for, is top 3. He's one of the 3 best basketball players on planet Earth. When that comes into your locker room, what's it like for the rest of the guys?
Well, I think the trade with the Lakers, there's already, LeBron is there, and the history of the Lakers is, they always seem to find a way to get that guy, So I think at the time when it was Gretzky, it's like trading Michael Jordan at his peak at 28 years old, So it's probably a little bit different. It wasn't top 3. There was no one near him, close. So I could tell you, though, for me, as a young guy at the time, that was the guy I idolized. When I was 13, he was playing in the NHL, and I was watching him every one of his games. So it was literally hard for me to talk to him because he represented so much the first couple of years. So it's probably a little bit different. For me, I was, enamored by Gretzky. But if you talk about from a fan's standpoint of view, for the game of hockey, that's probably one of the greatest things that's ever happened. I mean, for LA, it was amazing, but for the game of hockey itself, it was absolutely amazing. So when I look at what the Lakers have done, I mean, it's like when the Dodgers got Ohtani last year. I mean, it's incredible.
Luke,
it's amazing for the city.
When a guy like Gretz comes on your team, because he's going to have Luka's going to have a similar impact. Did that make your job easier or harder? In other words, I would imagine the defense was so worried about him, it might have freed you up. But I don't know if, there's a lot of pressure to deliver, too. So easier or harder?
And as an athlete, it makes it easier because when you get a player of that level, right away, it's about winning. So for years, you always, as an athlete, you always say, we want to win. But every once in a while, you play a team like, oh, my God, we're not even close to them, you know? But you get Gretzky on your team like, oh, my God, we just got the best player in the world. Now we got a chance to win it all. And you really, truly believe it as an athlete. And the other teams do, too. So it goes the same by the Lakers getting that player. I know everyone's saying we got a chance to win now, but I think in that locker room, they believe they got a chance to win now, and that's probably one of the biggest things.
So part of this that's interesting is that Luka is Slovenian, and Andrej Kopitar is also Slovenian. They are the two greatest Slovenian athletes of all time. I did the research, of all time. What do you know about Slovenia? Have you learned anything about it from Andrej?
I know they got a beautiful lake. It's
beautiful lake.
It's actually a beautiful place. It's very small, but it's a small country. And talking to Kopi, I was supposed to go to his wedding, and I wasn't able to make it a few years back. But he certainly is really excited. They're friends. And Kopi is a little bit older, so I think Luka probably looks up to Kopi to a certain degree because he's met so much of their country for so long. And I think Kopi's already reached out to him. He's going to help him on a transition of moving, from Texas to here. Even though the Lakers are so good at treating their players, I think it's good that he has someone from his country. They could speak their language that can help him. Kopi even mentioned, he said, I might sell in my house.
Well, there you go.
Right.
He's going to need someplace to live. When Luke, we're talking to Luke Robitaille. When you get a guy from a foreign country, and in hockey, you guys get people from all over the world. You get Russians, you get Slovenians, you obviously have a ton of Canadians like you. What's the challenge assimilating someone from outside of the United States into a U.S. game? Hockey's a little different because you guys in Canada were playing it forever, but what's it like trying to assimilate somebody who's not from our country into L.A.?
I think it's the lifestyle that's a little bit different, for every one of them. I mean, you go to those European countries, they have smaller towns and so forth. So, they're in their town and they have their life. When you come into L.A., it's such a big city, and it could be overwhelming until you realize that each neighborhood is its own thing. Like if you live in the Hermosa Beach or Manhattan Beach, which a lot of players live to, you're there. If you're in Brentwood, you're in your own neighborhood. If you're, in Santa Monica, you go to each restaurant and so forth. And the thing that you realize quickly about LA is like, no matter what, everybody's big. So you're able to have a life. If you're a basketball player or, and you play in Dallas or you play in a smaller town, every time you go outside, it's a little bit different. It's hard to have a life. In L.A., you can have a normal life, and I think that's a big plus for a lot of players when they move here. They realize that they could just have a normal life.
So February 23rd is the big fire relief event that you guys are doing. Any further details on that? Like what celebrity? Like is Keanu being? Is he going to be the goalie? Who's actually playing? Do you know anybody yet?
Keanu's not going to play. He's going to help me. We got firmed up a lot of alumni. I'll tell you what, guys. I promise you, I'll have a list for you next week if I'm still on the show.
Yeah, you will be on the show.
No,
we're not canceling what the.
We have already picked you up for another episode.
Hey, Luke, I
promise you, I'll have a really firmed up list because we're talking to a lot of people, and a lot of guys have said and girls have said yes. But I don't want to say their name until, you got to talk to their manager. You got to make sure it's done right, or you don't want to piss off anybody. It's Hollywood. You got to know how the city works.
We're talking with Luke Robitaille, who is, of course, in charge of the LA Kings. Luke, in lieu of having an All-Star game this season, the NHL's staging something they're calling the Four Nations Faceoff. It's going to start in a little more than a week. It's a round-robin tournament with a team from Canada, a team from Finland, a team from Sweden, and a team from the U.S. And NHL players from those countries are filling out the rosters. You think it's going to work?
Well, yeah, I'm sure it's going to work. And the reason is, I think for us in the hockey world, obviously it's a fun tournament to watch because you're really watching the best teams play. But the reason, like this, for me, I'm happy about it, guys, is for years, no one in the U.S. knew that, but we used to have World Cups, or we used to, back in the 80s and 90s, we used to call them Canada Cup and so forth, but it was always in September when no one's actually watching hockey because, you know, we got the baseball playoff come in, football starting, and so forth. So finally that the NHL is doing events after the Super Bowl when there's not that much competition. You know, there's the NBA and so forth, but we're able to do a tournament that could be relevant. Is this year going to be the highest rated tournament? I don't know. But I know if we do this, then every 4 years for the next 3, 4, 5, for the next 12 to 16 years, over time it'll get better. I mean, the goal is in 4 years to have a World Cup. You know, obviously, if there's no more wars and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So this year they want to do a World Cup. They weren't able to, so they decided the best tournament would be the 4 best country. But I think it's good for the game of hockey that you get to see the best players playing against each other. Just like next year we're going to have the Olympics. That's really good for hockey too.
So, Luke, big game is on Sunday. Do you have a pick? Who wins and why?
I don't know. Why for some reason I think Kansas City is going to win again. I just I'm always I don't watch that much football, so I'm not an expert. But for some reason they seem to find a way to win every big game, and it seemed like Mahone, it just finds a way to. It's incredible what they've done the last few years. I mean, it's never been seen. It's absolutely amazing. It would be, as much as they're becoming the villain, it would be incredible if they win again because it's never been seen. And it's just like when the Lakers were very successful, or the Bulls. I mean, it's always amazing to see a team like that has that much success because we all know how hard that is.
So, Luke, will you watch the game at home? Will you go to a party? How does that work for you on Sunday?
I'm getting older. I'm done with the parties, guys. What I like to do is sit at home, watch the game, listen. I know how much work is put into every commercial. I enjoy every commercial and everything. I turn up the volume and I really like just to sit at home quiet and watch the game.
Hey, Luke,
I get that.
All right, last thing from me. You guys are right in the middle. You're in the mix in your division. Edmonton and Vegas are tied at the top, but you're only 8 points back. You guys are ridiculously good at home. I think you're 15-3-1 at home. I think that's still the best home record in the NHL.
Yeah.
How can you transfer what you do at crypto and take it on the road with you?
As much as, I think we haven't played bad on the road. We just haven't won. And at some point, it's like in hockey, sometimes I remember telling Jeannie Buss years ago, I said, man, I wish, our team was like the NBA because if you have 3 great players, you're pretty much a contender. In our game, you need like 11 guys plus, the other 9 to really get going to have a chance to win. So we played well, but we weren't scoring goals. But we're always in the game, and it seemed like at home we found a way to score some big goals. So hopefully we keep going with that trend, but I think we'll be okay on the road, too, as the season goes, because what happened with us this year, the first 7 games we were on the road to start the season, and we had to be on the road during training camp. And then we've had really long trips. We had the Grammy trip, and before that we had another trip of 5 games in the span of 3 weeks. And mentally, as an athlete, it becomes hard. So it's not like we were playing bad, but we weren't having that little snap that kind of gets you to that just a little bit level above. So hopefully our guys come back at home now and get that little level that we're expecting out of them, and we go back to the team that we've been all year.
All right, well, 3-game homestand.
That was a long answer.
That was good, though. That was good.
Wasn't it?
Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, the Kings are at home, Montreal, Dallas, and Anaheim. Hey, Luke, another successful Luke Robitaille show. Thanks for coming on, man.
All right, boy.
All right, Luke.
Okay,
Thanks, man. Have a great weekend. Yeah, we'll get ready.
Yep, we're getting ready. All right, there is Luke Robitaille joining us, and afterwards, I'm sure he turns to whoever he's with and says,
"Yeah."
So
do I have to go on with those guys
again? I got to do that again? Is that an every week thing? Hey, it's Super Week on 710. Thank you to our friends at Islands for helping make sure we got super squares. Listen to the cue to call and be caller number 7 or 10. You win 2 squares on our Islands Superboard to be randomly selected by us. And on Sunday, you can win fabulous gift cards from Islands, brought to you by Islands Restaurant. Time to visit Paradise. Obviously, I'm reading that because I never use the word fabulous. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I love the sleeper picks, right? Brian Cohen, you play sleeper picks also.
Oh, yeah.
I want to show you. So I was on a pretty good roll. I had 2 wins in a row. I had a NFL playoff win, and I had a NBA win. Last night, 4 legs, all red. I missed all 4, which I think should have a prize associated with it.
That's just as hard to do.
Super tough to get 4 of them wrong. But when you get 4 of them right, you can win up to 1,000 times your money when you're playing sleeper picks. I'm telling you, I love sleeper picks. And by the way, apparently, LA is just in love with sleeper picks. We have had so many people sign up, download, use the code, all that stuff. And we already know how good Sleeper is. It's the best and only app that I play with. Here's the deal. The big game is on Sunday. All users get a $50 protected pick, meaning you can place an entry up to $50, and if it doesn't hit, you're going to get a free entry back for the same value. Everybody gets that deal. How much fun is Sunday going to be when you're guaranteed another shot? Also, if you're a new user, download the Sleeper app. Use code 710. You get $55 in free entries. Again, $55 in free entries when you play just $5. Download the Sleeper app. Use code 710. Do what all of us are doing and play Sleeper. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
LeBron.
Here's LeBron down the middle with a thunder dunk.
Luka.
This for me is a fresh start. I get to play in LA. The fans are amazing. I got the ocean here, so it's a really big thing for me.
Lake Show. Let's go.
I getting to play for the Lakers, and everybody can say that. And many, many legends pass here, many championships. So that's my goal.
This is the home of LeBron, Luka, and the Lakers. 710 ESPN.
Hey guys, it's Cap. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement, and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gat, one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms. Avner Gat knows how to fight back when your insurance company makes you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting into your home and getting it all back together. With decades of experience and a passion for helping people, Avner and his family take the call themselves. So whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you call Avner Gat today at 818-917-5256, or you go to avnergat.com. It's 818-917-5256 or avnergat.com. You call, Avner answers, he says hello. Your claim is our game, avnergat.com.
And it is Island Super Week on 710 ESPN. Callers number 7 and number 10 right now. You get to pick a square on our Island Super Square board for your chance to win fabulous prizes from Island's restaurants. Island Boy. Who has the coldest beer in town? Of course, our favorite Island's restaurants with those frosty mugs of beer paired with the best burgers and fries. It's time to visit Paradise. Callers number 7 and 10 and keep listening for your chance to win on 710 ESPN.
All right, I've got the chips and soda covered. What about you?
I'm bringing chicharrones and the MVP, guac. Northgate Gonzalez Market makes the best guacamole. It's made fresh every day with quality ingredients, so it's always delicious. And the best part, they make it exactly the way I want it. I get extra jalapenos for me and no jalapenos for the kids. We both win.
Score a touchdown every time with guacamole from Northgate Gonzalez Markets. It makes every party a winner. The guacamole from Northgate Gonzalez Market. It's the flavor that unites us. Northgate Gonzalez Market. Every visit has a story.
Some things you wouldn't mind being stuck with, like a huge inheritance.
But a phone that has to be plugged in just right so it charges is not one of those things. Switch to Verizon and we'll pay off your old phone up to $800 via prepaid MasterCard for a new one on us. Just trade in any phone from our top brands with select unlimited plans. $829.99 purchase with new smartphone line on select unlimited plans. Minimum $90 per month with auto pay plus taxes and fees for 36 months required. Less $830 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Trade-in terms apply. Payoff phone requires smartphone purchase and port-in with new smartphone line on select plan. Must provide most recent bill showing payoff amount of eligible phone. Additional terms apply.
If you're looking for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance, we're Term Provider, experts in finding affordable term life insurance for those that may not be in perfect health. Prostate cancer, heart conditions, high cholesterol, or on prescription medications, you may still qualify for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance. Call Term Provider at 800-444-9336. 800-444-9336.
Hi, this is Matthew Stafford of your Los Angeles Rams. This is Mason in Ireland on your home of Rams football, 710 ESPN.
We talked about how unhappy Dallas is over the Luka Doncic trade, and just got this in. The Dallas Morning News reporting that Celestial Beer Works has decided to join the chorus of detractors with the release of a new beer dubbed Sell the Team. It's a double IPA. It's planning to be released in the near future, and its branding was inspired by the trade. Sell the Team beer they're going to make in Dallas.
Yeah, it'll make zero difference.
Yes, it will.
But they could sell the team. If gambling doesn't get approved in the next 2 years in Texas,
yeah,
and apparently it's being blocked in the House down there, it's a big political football, I could see the Adelsons getting out.
Yeah. I mean, I think you've reached the conclusion to some point that the ownership forced this trade.
That I think had a hand in it. I wouldn't know if I'd use the word force, but I would say they have their hands all over this deal. There's no way, first of all, there's no way Nico makes it without their approval.
I totally agree with that.
And secondly, I think what Nico probably heard was, we're not giving him $350 million. You can do what you want with that information, but we're not doing it. It reminds me of what the Dodgers did to Mike Piazza.
Right.
Peter O'Malley would have figured out a way to keep Mike Piazza in a Dodger uniform.
No doubt.
When Fox bought the team, they just looked at him as a number.
As a chip.
Yeah, and I think that's how the Adelsons look at players.
Yeah, I think so.
So Luka doesn't know it yet, but he just landed in Camelot.
Oh, yeah. This is where stars get taken care of.
The Lakers treat their players great.
No question. All right, so this weird story's floating around about the best umpire in Major League Baseball.
I'm glad you brought this up. This is a really interesting story. This umpire's name is Pat Hoberg.
Yeah.
Hoberg. He was rated last year, statistically, as the best umpire in all of MLB.
Yes.
He had several games where he graded out perfect, like 100, and like most of these guys grade out at about 91.
Yep.
They fired him because he had a shared betting account with one of his friends. So him and his friends opened up like a DraftKings, or like what you do, like Sleeper.
Right, Sleeper.
So Major League Baseball heard about this, and they went in and looked at the account. He met this guy at a poker tournament, became friends with him. They golfed and traveled together and watched sports on TV. Hoberg lives in Iowa, and the guy stayed with him a lot in Iowa.
Yes.
So they were friends. In 2019, when online sports betting became legal in Iowa, Hoberg's friend, not Hoberg, not the umpire, but his friend, opened a legal online betting account with a sports book, and then a second legal account with another sports book. Betting on these accounts only possible from electronic devices physically located in Iowa. Hoberg asked his friend to place non-baseball sports bets. So again, non-baseball.
Hoberg, the umpire, asked his friend,
like, "Hey, I want to bet on the Rams-Niners
Well, you
game."
put X amount on it, yeah.
Subsequently, the friend gave Hoberg the username and to his account so Hoberg could place bets himself, so he didn't have to call the guy. So now it's a joint account.
Yes.
Okay. So Hoberg then started tipping his friends on, what he wanted to bet. Sometimes football, sometimes basketball. And then MLB saw, hey, one of our umpires has a gambling account.
Yes.
They contacted him, and both the friend and Hoberg were less than cooperative. The friend immediately deleted
all the emails, yeah, and text messages, yeah.
Again, the umpire, they have no evidence that this guy never bet on baseball, never did anything else, but he looks guilty because they didn't cooperate with the investigation.
Right.
So they fired him. Did they overreact?
No, I think I think having a joint account where baseball bets are being made is beyond. That is a bet. There were 141 baseball bets made in the Friends account. 8 bets involved games that Hoberg umpired. So essentially, there were bets made in their joint account on games that Hoberg was actually umpiring. This is, again, there's no evidence he bet on baseball, but the appearance is terrible.
Yeah, it's a bad look, but I wonder, it almost seems like they're not extending the same courtesy they extended to Shohei to Hoberg. So Ippei, Shohei's interpreter, was using Shohei's name, using his money, making bets. Shohei didn't know anything.
Right. But in this case, Hoberg did know.
He knew about but he wasn't making bets.
He wasn't making bets, but his friend on Hoberg's account, an account he shared, made baseball bets.
What I did him in, and what I think saved Shohei, is there was no evidence that Shohei knew anything.
No.
This evidence indicates Hoberg knew about it, but we just don't know whether or not he bet on baseball.
Correct.
But I think by firing him, he's done getting a job in sports.
Probably,
yeah. He's going to have to find something else to do.
It's like rule number 1 in baseball is no gambling. I would steer clear of it. Even the appearance of gambling.
Right.
Sharing an account with a gambler just is a huge mistake.
Hoberg would say he didn't gamble on baseball.
Right, but you shared an account where a guy on your account bet on baseball. To me, that's enough to say the appearance is wrong here. Bergman, am I...
No, you're absolutely right.
You can't.
Does it say in that article that you're reading that what Hoberg did in those games that his friend bet on?
Does not say what he
did
in those 8 games.
He graded out in his usual way. So in other words, he graded out 98,
nothing
99%.
Nothing else seemed a little bit off.
He didn't throw the game. Matter of fact, Rob Manfred, when he fired him, came out and said, our investigation, he used the word extensive, our extensive investigation revealed no evidence that Hoberg placed bets on baseball directly or that anyone else manipulated games in any way. However, his extremely poor judgment in sharing the account with a professional poker player he had reason to believe bet on baseball and who did in fact bet on baseball, combined with the deletion of the messages, creates the appearance of impropriety that warrants the most severe discipline. So the fact that he was in bed with this guy and making bets on a shared account, and he was betting baseball, the friend was betting baseball, was enough for MLB to take him down.
So I'm looking at scorecards, and I don't think he actually did a playoff game, and I can't find.
Well, no, he was suspended. He was suspended during the season.
Yeah, because I can't even find his last time.
Yeah, I mean, there were instances, like there's one instance here that's mentioned, Game 2 of the 2022 World Series, when he called all 129 pitches correctly.
Right.
Wow.
And Greg, he first umpired MLB games in 2014, became a full-time ump in 2017. He umpired postseason games every year from 2018 to 2022, and also worked the World Baseball Classic in 23.
Yeah.
So he had a reputation of being a really good umpire.
I know the name.
Last year they didn't use him because he was under investigation.
Sure. And I think in the end...
But he was always better than Angel Hernandez.
Legalized gambling has opened Pandora's box. I mean, we saw the Terry Rozier story, Terry Rozier being investigated. We know about...
Well, here, I'll give you guys an example. Michael and I are not allowed to bet on NBA stuff.
Right.
And so even when we bet mythical money, which isn't real, they're not real bets.
Yeah, not
we're
real
just
bets.
making up. I won't bet basketball because I don't want the appearance of impropriety.
Totally get it.
That's where this guy didn't pick up the scent.
Right. You don't do mythical money bets on.
Right. That's what I was just saying.
Yeah,
so
no, exactly.
I admit this guy was stupid. I wonder if they could have suspended him. I'll give you an example. One of the best refs in the NBA, guy grades out really well on NBA games, is Scott Foster.
Yeah.
Scott Foster was best friends with Tim Donaghy. Went to school with him.
But did the feds investigate and did he make bets?
Donaghy did all the time on games he worked with
but
Foster.
Foster did not.
Correct. But
right.
But Donaghy was his best friend. The one time there were 27 calls between Foster and Donaghy in one day.
During a game.
So
like
what
at halftime, before the game, after the game.
So was it David Stern? David Stern buried it?
No. It was all part of the investigation. That's how I know about
right,
it.
but in
they
this
say we
case,
have no evidence that Scott Foster bet like Tim Donaghy
okay,
did.
but in this case, you don't think, and I think he actually says it, did not stand by the high standards and expectations of a Major League Baseball
So you don't
employee.
think there's any wiggle room for baseball to have suspended this guy? They had to fire him?
Had to fire him. I think they had to.
Well, too late now. He is fired.
Yep. All right, coming up next for you, going to do some What's Up, Fool. Bergman's got stuff, and Brian's got stuff. We'll keep on rolling. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
If you're thinking about selling your house and you've heard about Seller's Advantage on the radio or just seen them around town, you might be skeptical. You're probably wondering if they're just another shady company trying to take advantage, but nothing could be further from the truth. Seller's Advantage has been buying homes from sellers in Southern California for over 20 years. They hold an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, and there's a reason they have some of the best reviews in town. Seller's Advantage will make you a competitive cash offer that can match what you end up with after paying expensive repairs and agent commissions. And you don't have to go through the hassle of any of that stuff. You never even have to list your home. Plus, they take pride in buying on your terms. So if you want to sell your home, call Seller's Advantage for a no-obligation offer at 888-390-AS-IS. That's 888-390-AS-IS or 888-390-2747. Or you can visit sellersadvantage.com.
The superstars end up in Los Angeles.
You don't come here for nothing else than championship, so I have everything left to prove, so the goal is to win the championship.
Welcome home, Luka.
Back to Luka. Luka, step back, another three. He hit it again. And Luka has swished 2 threes.
What does this mean for the Lakers' chances at another chip? I guess it's time to find out.
Luka still dribbling. Wide open for 3. Good.
It's a gift. We're talking about a 25-year-old that is top 3 player in the universe.
I get to play in the greatest club in the world, and I'm excited for this new journey.
I can't think of a more amazing starting point to build a roster for the next decade, and I know he has the drive to win that we have here. Our fans are going to see that every night on the court.
This is the home of the Lakers and the new home of Luka. 710 ESPN.
This is attorney Joseph S. Normand. I'm deeply saddened by the devastation caused by the fires in our community. If you've suffered losses due to the Eaton wildfire, you may be entitled to file a compensation claim. These are complex claims. It's crucial to have an experienced legal team on your side. Please don't hesitate to call me anytime at 213-747-2000, 213-747-2000, or normandlegal.com.
Empower. Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads. Race car bobbleheads. Little Chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
Oh, it's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit GetEthos.com. That's GetEthos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Hey, it's DeMarco. I know a thing or two about Super Bowls. I've been there, won that. If you want to experience the big game like a pro, Absolute Sport has you covered. From premium tickets to exclusive parties to first-class accommodations, their Super Bowl packages are the MVP of the fan experience. Don't sit on the sidelines. Be a part of the action. Go to us.absolute-sport.com. That's ABSOLUT-sport to lock in your spot. Absolute Sport, it's how champions watch the Super Bowl.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone, and even better, Hims can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles, and we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
What's Up, Fool is brought to you by Dos Hombres Mezcal. It's fate. It's friendship. It's mezcal. Dos Hombres.
Oh, thank you, Brian. I'll take it away for you guys today.
Excellent.
So, Warner Brothers announced today, or confirmed, that last week they announced that it's going to be a new prank show called Foul Play, which is going to star Anthony Davis, actually. And they confirmed that it's still going to air right after the All-Star Game, February 16th. Immediately after the All-Star Game. There was still some talks yesterday because it's all based around L.A.
Okay.
Kind of L.A.-based kind of things. And it's the executive producers of the show Impractical Jokers.
I love that show.
And it kind of got me thinking, like, one, I didn't know A.D. was a funny kind of guy like that.
Right.
And are you a fan of these prank shows? And do you think this will be a hit here?
I find it funny. You know what I love? I love when they put the thing in the ear and they tell you what you have to say. Like, I've seen Ellen do that. I've seen other shows do that where they tell you what you've got to say.
Oh, right.
Which
as
is,
part of the
which
bit,
is
yeah.
really funny. Yeah, but I mean, this is like, John, have you ever seen Impractical Jokers?
Yeah.
It's like the old Ashton Kutcher show.
Punk'd.
Yeah, it's like that. And Anthony Davis is the guy?
He's the star. He's the man of the show. It's called Foul Play.
Foul Play. Now, does that seem in character, John?
Yeah, I like AD. I think that it could work. It depends on,
But is he a jokester?
Yeah, I think he can be.
Yeah.
But I wonder if, I don't know how easy it's going to be for him to film that show if he's never here.
Yeah, it's true.
So
who's airing?
It's already filmed.
It's already filmed.
Yeah.
Who's airing the show?
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
So Max.
Right. Yes.
Max. Okay.
Yeah, that's who does Impractical Jokers too. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
We'll look for that. Yeah.
I think I'd be in it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Bergman, you in? Anthony Davis, Practical Joker?
I mean, I love Impractical Jokers, so if this is anywhere close to that,
yeah,
sure.
I'll definitely watch.
What's up, Foo?
On a serious docu-note side that I will not watch, your Vice put out today that they're going to have a behind-the-scenes look on John Calipari and his coaching tenure, and then even him going back to Kentucky this last year and getting the victory. And it got me thinking, I don't know, there's no real interest in watching a docuseries about John Calipari, but is there any coach that would get you to watch a docuseries? Is there anybody you could think of that's like, he seems like an interesting suspect?
I think Phil Jackson would make a great docuseries. I think he's a super interesting guy.
Yeah, but he's not coaching.
Yeah, he's not. You're talking about active coaches?
McVay, I'd probably watch.
McVay would be great. Harbaugh would be great.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anybody in the NBA. Joe Mazzulla, the Celtics coach, is an interesting guy.
Guy who watches The Town all the time.
Ime Udoka is an interesting guy.
Yeah, they're playing really well.
Yeah, there's a few I think
Dan
I'd
Campbell.
watch.
Dan Campbell.
Oh, that's a good one.
Dan Campbell would be
Pete
great.
Carroll at
Pete
the
Carroll.
Raiders.
Yeah.
I actually want Hard Knocks to
Yeah,
go
it's
to the Raiders.
Hard Knocks would be good at the Raiders this year with Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly.
What's up, Foo?
Jerk.
All right, so it is, Super Bowl week here and Media Day yesterday and all that stuff going down to New Orleans. This was the soundbite for me for Media Day yesterday.
In this free agency, man, I'm a free agent. I really don't got no job. Who should sign me in free agency?
I think New York need a quarterback right now.
New York, who?
The Giants.
Okay, brother, thank you. I'll give him a call.
So that's
Jameis Winston.
Yeah,
Who's he talking to?
To Saquon Barkley.
Oh,
so
wow.
that's where Saquon afterwards
Is
came out and
Jameis
said
a free agent?
He
Yeah,
is a free agent.
Okay.
And Saquon said everybody's taking this as a shot at the Giants. They don't have a quarterback, and he wants that whole, kind of thing to stop about he's not taking a shot at the Giants.
Right.
They need a quarterback, and Jameis is a free agent.
Sure. I mean, I think Jameis Winston is either an ideal quarterback as a backup or an ideal quarterback for a starting role on a bad team. I love Jameis Winston. I think personality-wise, he's hilarious.
Turnover.
He is. I mean, he'll throw as many touchdowns as he throws interceptions. That's just part of the deal, but he'll make spectacular plays. I think he's an ideal backup. And I think the Giants are going to draft a quarterback.
Probably. I think that's what they're going to. But if there would, let's say Stafford steps away, Jameis, would that, tickle your fancy? Or same with the Raiders? Is Jameis, is he a guy that you're like, yeah, let me get Jameis as a QB?
As a backup, I would say, yeah, I don't think he's a starting caliber quarterback anymore. But he's fun, and he gives a good speech, gives a good pregame speech.
Oh, the best sound bites.
Yeah, best sound. Best sound from Jameis.
What's up, fool?
So the big game coming up, all the little prop bets are starting to, trickle out.
Mm-hmm.
Anthem time, color Gatorade you could kind of put on.
Yes.
The one right now I saw today is the big one. Kendrick Lamar going to be performing Not Like Us first or last.
Yeah, that's a good question.
And that's a good question. He, the song that won Song of the Year, Record of the Year, all this stuff. If you're Kendrick, do you go start with your best one to get the crowd going, or is that something you wait to,
I've been thinking about
end?
this because I want to make a mythical money bet about it, but I think he opens with Damn and closes with Not Like Us. I think
the other way around.
You think he's going to start with Not Like Us?
Yeah, I think other way around. Opens with Not Like Us, and then just goes down from there.
Right. Bergman, what do you think he opens with? Not Like Us or another song?
I think he opens with Not Like Us.
Yeah.
Just
See,
goes right into it.
I think he's saving that. I think he's saving that for the big finale.
What's up, fool?
I got one here for you. So, also another Super Bowl one. The crazy stat of the week that I saw. Since 1950, 241 starting quarterbacks have trailed in the fourth quarter of the game 25 times. Mahomes, the only QB out of the 241 to win 50% of that time.
Ooh. I thought Stafford had a similar number there. I guess not.
Stafford has a number related to game-winning drives that's really impressive.
And it kind of got to the question of who do you kind of give more credit here to? Is this all Mahomes, or is a lot of this on Andy Reid? Does he get more of the credit of coming from behind in these victories?
Well,
or is this all Mahomes?
There's a mind meld, but in the end, I think it's Mahomes.
Yeah, Mahomes is the one who has to execute
He's the genuine article. I mean, he's the real deal. He's the guy that's making it happen. Andy Reid is terrific as a force in that team. But I think in the end, if you have Patrick Mahomes, you got a chance in every game, as demonstrated there. That's unbelievable, the number of comebacks he's had.
What's up, fool?
I want my fruit for you guys. So today, Facebook turns 21.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Say
birthday,
hi to my
Facebook.
mom. She's on there right now sharing recipes.
So that kind of got me thinking, you still don't use Facebook. I don't use Facebook pretty much anymore. But what is one thing that is Facebook used for? Is it more for, like you said, older people and the recipes, or is it still the ideal of connecting with friends?
So for me, and my exposure to Facebook is my mom, where it's her main news source. But my mom will call me up and say, do you remember Barbara Thompson? I'm like, no, I don't think so. Her husband died. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, it's a way for her to keep track of people that she knew a long time ago and to share recipes.
I haven't checked Facebook in months.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
have an
go
account.
there.
I haven't been there.
I don't go there. You were never super active on Facebook.
No.
I'm not super active on Twitter anymore.
A lot of people have just left Twitter.
Yeah, well, I mean, I still have Twitter. I still look at it, but
like everything else, everything's become polarized. So a lot of liberals have gone to Blue Sky, and a lot of conservatives have stayed on Twitter. And now we're even more siloed than we were before.
But the weird thing is, I don't follow anybody political. Not a single person who is political. I have 700 people I follow. It's all sports people or
you don't
entertainment
follow Barack
people.
Obama?
Do not.
Really?
I don't want any politics in my feed. I just don't need it. So I'm in my own silo. The Mason silo is awesome. Everybody gets along. Everybody's friends. Nobody's out to kill anybody.
I'm just like that, too. I don't follow any of those, but they still pop up
They
on my
still
Twitter.
You're right. They
It's
still
crazy.
sneak in there.
Yeah.
I have no idea how some of that's not.
I'll even put not interested, and then it still comes up.
Like, okay, I'll just say this. I don't follow Elon Musk. Some people love him. Some people hate him. I still get his tweets. And I don't follow Elon Musk, and I still get his tweets. And that's
weird. I wonder if they've got an algorithm that's
I think he
cheating.
overrides everything.
That's what I was
You're looking at the For You page instead of the following page. If you click on following, you will not get the Elon Musk tweets.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, there's For You and following.
Oh, yeah, For You. Why do they think that's for me?
That's what the algorithm
they want
wants.
you- that's what they want you to.
This is what they think you want.
Yeah,
to.
I don't do the
Yeah, it's like
politics
the
thing.
Tom from MySpace. He thought you wanted to be his friend.
Oh,
you know?
that's
It's-
right.
it's everybody's
Tom.
friend. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Hey, what's on tap today on 710 ESPN? Well, thank you to our friends at Michelob Ultra. Lakers at Clippers. Coverage starts at 710. Here on 710, starts on 710 at 5:30. And, of course, the all-new ESPN LA app, Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Coming up next, one of the biggest Laker fans we know, O'Shea Jackson Jr., wants to talk about the Luka trade. We'll do that coming up next. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
ESPN LA and Beverly Hills Ortho are teaming up because we want to know who's smiling in SoCal. Go to ESPNLA.com and nominate who you think is making LA a better place. Could be a mentor, a teacher, a coach, a good Samaritan, or you could nominate yourself. You could win prizes like sweet tickets, Sonic Care electric toothbrushes, whitening treatment, or the grand prize, Invisalign. Enter now at ESPNLA.com, and remember, you're always smiling at Beverly Hills Ortho.
Playoffs on the line, golf. With 24 of the best players from the PGA Tour. Split into 6 teams. Atlanta, Boston, Jupiter, LA, New York, and the Bay. This isn't your average Sunday pickup game. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Only on ESPN. Keep up. It's golf.
Hey, it's Mace. Want to have more fun watching the NBA? Try playing daily fantasy basketball on Sleeper Picks. Download the Sleeper app today. Pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. If you're right, you can win up to 1,000 times your cash. For a limited time, Sleeper is a special offer. New users just have to play $5 and you get $55 in free entries. Download the Sleeper app today. Use code 710. That's code 710.
Must be at least 18 years old. Promo code location and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a good karma brands radio station. Listen to Mason and Ireland more at 1 p.m.
Juan will look at me at some point tonight and say, "Are you even enjoying this?"
More of Mason and Ireland right now.
Little follow-up. We're going to get to O'Shea Jackson Jr. here in a minute, but a little follow-up on Steven Adams, who the Lakers have reportedly had conversations about. He's down in Houston. The two sides have been significantly apart. League sources say, and this is Mark Stein, New York Times, or Substack, right?
Yeah.
Says the Lakers have been attempting to use the contracts of Gabe Vincent and Maxi Kleber in this pursuit.
I would like to keep Gabe Vincent if possible.
Yep.
Because he's a defense-first guy.
Yes, he is.
But if we could get Steven Adams, I can't imagine turning that down.
No,
I think he's perfect for us.
Yeah, me too. Me too. He'd be great. And speaking of great, the star of Den of Thieves 2, Pantera, O'Shea Jackson Jr. is here. Shay, what's going on, man?
Nothing, man. Life is pretty good. I can't be too upset right now. Went to the Royal Rumble. Den of Thieves 3 got announced.
Yeah.
And I got Luka Doncic.
How about that?
Pretty good week, man. Pretty good week.
Pretty solid. Pretty solid.
Shay, do you watch every Laker game? Do you think the Lakers can make a run this year if they don't make another trade?
I do think we can make a run, but it at a certain point down low, just the big man is going to be a problem, And now I, of course, have faith in our athletic bigs that we got now, but it's just something that Anthony Davis brought that's just not going to be there anymore. It is what it is. But, it's not like Dallas had some major center that got them to the finals, and now you give Luka LeBron. It's just exciting to see.
So, I was fully droned when the news came down on Saturday night. To me, it seemed sort of like almost like a dream. Like I woke up the next day, I'm like, did that really happen?
Shay, I thought for at least half an hour, I was convinced it was somebody got hacked. Were you the same way?
Dude, I was in the middle of filming for my podcast, the No Contest Wrestling podcast, right after the Royal Rumble, and I got a text from my best friend Roman, and all it said was, "Dude, WTF?" and then we got Luka. And so there's a video out right now on the internet. My man TJ Jefferson, who's my co-host of the podcast, said it looked like I saw a ghost. And it was such a moment of course, you're super excited. But then the other side of that, I don't want to get rid of Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
You know, when you've been fighting for a guy for 6 years, having arguments, trying to show everybody that this dude is a force in the league, having to go against all the memes and jokes and people on national television calling him Mr. Glass, when the other franchise, both their stars were never on the court and they never get the butt of the joke. So it was really just hard when you have a guy that you loved and cared for that much to be gone with no rumor, no hint, no clue, like blowing out a candle. So it stung a little bit, but I'm excited for Luka, and I wish Anthony Davis the best. These boo-hoo Laker fans who are never happy with nothing trashed the guy while he was here, and then as soon as we trade him, now it's a mistake. They're never happy with anything, dude.
So now that you've got this was your first #1 movie at the box office, right? This was Den of Thieves 2, Pantera was #1 at the box office. You won the weekend, right?
Steve Mason, please. Straight Outta Compton was my first #1.
Oh, I forgot about that. Of course, Straight Outta Compton. This felt different, though, because they were definitely coming to see you, man.
Yeah, this is my first time being back at the #1. It's an amazing feeling. You know, me and Gerard and Christian Gudegas, the director, we all were very excited about it. Shout out to Tucker Chuli, the producer. We were all super excited about it. But, like, it came at the time of the fires, and there was no real celebratory feeling because we were all just so worried.
Yeah.
But, you know, thankful for everybody who went to go see it across the country. Your boy was #1 for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Now, did you...
Got the third one on the way.
Did you shoot... I know you shot that in Europe, but it wasn't Slovenia, was it? Where'd you shoot?
No, I was in Tenerife, the Canary Islands. It's kind of like Spain's Hawaii.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Now, when are we going to see you out at Crypto? You coming out for a game?
Oh, absolutely, bro. I gotta see that 77 up close. You know, what I really need from Luka, what Laker fans need from Luka, is to understand that they told us that you don't play defense. Show them. They said that you can't get in shape. Show them. They told you were expendable. They shipped you out in the middle of the night. No warning. Show them. Come here. Show them that they made a mistake by giving the greatest franchise in basketball that 77. And you and LA will get along just fine. Revenge season on the way.
Shay, I'm convinced that they're going to make the other players better. That Luka and LeBron are both going to have to get double teamed, and it's going to mean a lot of open shots for Dalton Connect, for Austin Reeves, for Dorian Finney-Smith. And if these guys can consistently make outside shots, we could be a problem for everybody. Am I being too Pollyanna? Am I being too basic with that assessment?
Dude, no, of course not. Everybody needs to eat right now. Gabe Vincent, Dalton Connect, everybody can eat right now. And I know we're in the middle of talking trades still, and we don't know if Cleve is really going to be here. But he's got to, he hit a buzzer beater on us that ripped our heart out. So, like, it's definitely super exciting. Everybody on the offensive side should be ready to eat and keep your head on the swivel because you never know with Bron and Luka. Keep those hands ready, all right? Now, on the defensive side, I'm not as end of the world as everybody. When I look at Vincent, when I look at Dorian Finney-Smith, when I look at Vando, the wing is protected. And like you said, with when it came to the Knicks game, without AD, how we did. So it's not the end of the world. Let the guy get in, let him get his feet wet, and let's see where this thing goes before you go on Twitter talking ridiculous.
Exactly. And you would know nothing about that. Talking ridiculous on Twitter. That's not that you don't do that.
No, not me. I'm just aggressively defending myself, man.
Yes,
that's all I
understand completely. Hey, plug your wrestling pod.
Yeah, bro, the No Contest Wrestling Podcast. You can watch it on the Rich Eisen Show channel on YouTube. It's available everywhere that podcasts where you listen to them. Check it out. No Contest Wrestling Podcast.
All right. Hey, Shay, great catching up, man. Go Lakers.
Absolutely, man. Go Lakers always. And, it's just so amazing that it fell on the 17-year anniversary of the Pau Gasol trade.
Yeah, so weird.
Are you guys up to date on your Chinese zodiac?
No.
Wait a minute. I heard isn't it Year of the Snake?
Kobe be with us all. Have a great day, guys.
There you go. All right, Shay.
Yeah, it is Year of the Snake. I did see that.
All right, so we've already shared with you the report that the Lakers may be eyeing Steven Adams.
Yes.
There's a new report.
Uh-oh.
That there's another big man that they're zeroing in on, and I'll tell you who it is coming up next.
Cool. In the meantime, it's Super Week here on 710. Thank you to our friends at Islands for helping make sure we got super squares. Listen for the cue to call. Be caller number 7 or caller number 10. Win 2 squares on our Islands Super Board to be randomly selected by us. And on Sunday, you can win fantastic gift cards from Islands, brought to you by Islands Restaurants. Time to visit paradise. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
All right, if you are hiring, you probably already know it can take up to 11 weeks on average to hire for an open job. Nobody's got that kind of time. If you're listening today, use ZipRecruiter. You can use it for free right now at ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter uses matching technology to quickly find and send you the most qualified people for your roles. How quick? 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within 1 day. So what are you waiting for? Go to that web address to use ZipRecruiter for free. ZipRecruiter.com/LA. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to.
Luka.
This for me is a fresh start. I get to play in LA. The fans are amazing. I got the ocean here, so it's a really big thing for me.
Lake Show. Let's go.
I get to play for the Lakers, and everybody can say that. And many, many legends pass here, many championships. So that's my goal.
This is the home of LeBron, Luca, and the Lakers. 710 ESPN.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi, golf's newest league. It's sharp and it's electric. How is it sharp? How is it electric? Good questions. Try this on for size. 2 hours of hammer-dropping, overtime, forcing, playoffs on the line, golf. With 24 of the best players from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams. Atlanta, Boston, Jupiter, LA, New York, and the Bay. This isn't your average Sunday pickup game. Tune in every week for TGL matches, only on ESPN. Keep up. It's golf.
Some things you wouldn't mind being stuck with, like a huge inheritance. But a phone that has to be plugged in just right so it charges is not one of those things. Switch to Verizon and we'll pay off your old phone up to $800 via prepaid MasterCard for a new one on us. Just trade in any phone from our top brands with select unlimited plans. $829.99 purchase with new smartphone line on select unlimited plans. Minimum $90 per month with auto pay plus taxes and fees for 36 months required. Less $830 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Trade-in terms apply. Payoff phone requires smartphone purchase and port-in with new smartphone line on select plan. Must provide most recent bill showing payoff amount of eligible phone. Additional terms apply.
You never expect a Hail Mary pass to win and end the game or getting into an accident. Hey, it's Trav with DeMarco. Only one all-star defense team you can call to defend you. The personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Don't get sacked by others. Joseph will help you achieve the maximum compensation you deserve. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000. Let Joseph and his team score a touchdown for you.
Hey guys, it's Sedano and Cap. PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. Just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash, Cappy. So run your game all season long on PrizePicks.
You could take $20 and literally multiply it by 1,000 times and turn it into $20,000. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use the code Cappy. Get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. That's Cappy, Kappy, for our first-time users. And, George, the big game is coming.
Oh, it's almost here, Cappy, so don't miss out on the last football game of the season with PrizePicks, the best place to win cash while watching the big game.
Also, a free square on one of the starting quarterbacks in the big game. All they have to do is throw for 1 yard and you win. So download the PrizePicks app, use the code Cappy, make a $5 play, get a $50 bonus instantly.
PrizePicks, run your game.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. Just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
A great lawn is like a great sports team. It takes expertise and a little extra care to really stand out. That's where True Green comes in. They're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, so they know a thing or two about keeping grass looking like a fairway. It's more affordable than you think, and they'll even match any competitor's price. Plus, True Green backs it all up with a satisfaction guarantee. Head to TrueGreen.com today. Let the pros do the work while you sit back and enjoy the results.
Hi, this is Matthew Stafford of your Los Angeles Rams. This is Mason and Ireland on your home of Rams football, 710 ESPN.
Everybody's all right. Luka Doncic is a Laker, introduced a little bit earlier today in El Segundo. And as Rob Pelinka says, it is a seismic shift.
Luka Doncic joining forces with the Los Angeles Lakers is a seismic event in NBA history. And the reason I say that is because we have a 25-year-old global superstar that's going to get on the stage of the most popular and influential basketball brand on the globe. And I think when those two powerful forces come together, it brings basketball joy to the world, because that's how Luka plays. He plays with joy. And if you think about kids in Barcelona, or kids in Buenos Aires, or children in Shanghai or Sydney, they're going to be wearing a number 77 Luka Doncic Lakers jersey and bringing joy to basketball just like he does. And that's why it's powerful.
All right, to Rob's point, when Michael and I went to China, went to Beijing and to Shanghai, this was in 2012.
Right.
I cannot tell you how many Laker jerseys I saw. Most of them at the time were Kobe jerseys.
Sure.
He's right. Doncic is a global superstar. Stress on global. He played for Real Madrid when he was 16 years old. And so he's going to grow the Laker brand exponentially. It's just going to wait till you guys see how popular this guy becomes.
Yeah.
And all right, so let me give you the other big man name.
Okay.
This is somebody that
floating around out there.
Yeah, somebody that went to USC. Nikola Vucevic.
Oh, I love Nikola Vucevic. I mean, he's a stretch five. He can shoot threes on top of everything else,
Correct.
and he can patrol the paint.
But not defensively.
Not defensively. It's not really his game.
Not kind of what we need. That's why. And by the way,
that's why Steven Adams.
What did you tell me? Steven Adams was making his contract around 12.
12.
Vucevic is at 20.
Tougher to match.
And
more guys going out.
They already turned down. The Bulls already turned down Clint Capella for Vucevic.
Oh yeah.
We don't have a Clint Capella to offer them. I don't know how it would work. I wouldn't, for example, I wouldn't trade Austin.
No, not here.
But for Steven Adams, if I could do it with second-round picks and a bench player, I would do that.
Yeah, I would too. I don't think Rob's done. I don't think Rob is finished.
I don't think he's done trying. There's a difference between him making offers and other teams. It takes two to tango.
Right.
And...
Well, he's had dance lessons, so I think he's going to come up with something.
Would you do second-round picks and Rui, since that will probably match the salary?
For Steven Adams?
No, for Vucevic.
For Vucevic. No, because he's not. Vucevic is not a defensive guy.
Of course, but that's matching salaries.
Right. Greg, I don't think you would need to put Rui in a deal for Adams.
No, you wouldn't. That's 18 and 12. You can't go over.
But what I'm saying is, you could do Adams with smaller parts.
Sure.
Like what the Rockets would get from an Adams trade are picks. The question is, it'd be hard. I don't know if I'd give up that 31 number one for Adams. That seems a little steep.
No,
but I'd love to get him. Love to get him.
So you wouldn't do Rui, and like if there was other people involved with Adams to get that, and if you moved Rui,
who are the other people?
I'd have to look at their roster.
You're talking about our roster?
No,
their roster. Because I can see the guys.
By the way, they're really good. You know, Houston's really good, and they have a good roster.
Just give them Amen Thompson.
And they're
That's
not,
fine.
right. They're not super incentivized to do something.
You want to hear something
it's going
interesting
well
about Amen Thompson?
He's really good.
Really good.
He is. do you guys know this? So he can't shoot.
Yeah.
He's
He gets to the basket as well as anybody.
but you know what? Who people used to say, you know who he's kind of a comp at his age for? Now, again, going back to his age.
Yep.
At that age, he reminds me of Giannis. Giannis couldn't shoot.
Right.
But he was just super athletic and great at getting to the rim. That's Amen Thompson. And he's a little better than his brother.
Yep.
He's got a twin brother that plays for Detroit.
They're on the same team in there for the Rising Stars game.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I'm going to watch any of the All-Star game. Are you guys?
Nope. When does it happen? It's next weekend?
Yeah. Not after weekend after Super Bowl.
No, I'll try to clear some time. I do want to see. I definitely want to see Mac McClung go for the three-peat.
You know what?
I wonder if they've licensed three-peat.
That's
for
on
Mac
Saturday
McClung.
night.
Yeah.
On Sunday night, it's going head-to-head with the SNL 50th anniversary special. I don't think anybody's going to watch the
I don't think so
basketball
either.
game.
Is it head-to-head?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, that's an event. That 50th anniversary show is going to be amazing. All right, so I want to play something. This is okay. When the Mavericks lost to Boston last year in Game 5, they lost in Game 5. Brian Windhorst.
Okay, let me correct you if you're going to play what I think you're going to play.
Okay.
I think this was after Game 3.
It was after Game 3. It was not after Game 5?
Correct.
Okay.
After Game 3, Windhorst was disgusted with how Luka played.
Okay. Here is that.
I thought it was perfect that Luka fell onto the ground there in an unacceptable position to put himself in with 4 minutes left with 5 fouls, and then immediately looks at the bench and says, "You better bleeping challenge it," as if it's the bench's fault that he just made a terrible play. I'm standing here in the Mavericks tunnel. Over there is the Celtics tunnel. That's where the winners are. If Luka's ever going to be a winner coming out of this tunnel here, he is going to have to use what's happened in this finals as a learning experience. His defensive performance is unacceptable. He is a hole on the court. The Celtics are attacking him. They are ahead in this series because they have attacked him defensively. And you've got a situation here where Luka is complaining about the officiating. They have begged him. They have talked with him. They have pleaded with him. He is costing his team because of how he treats the officials. He's a brilliant player. He does so many things well. They are here because of how he did. His performance in this game is unacceptable, and the reason why the Mavericks are not going to win. He's got to get over this. And the fact that he came out after the game and blamed the officials showed me he's nowhere close yet. So maybe over the summer, somebody will get to him because nobody with the Mavericks or anybody else in his life has. And that's where the Mavericks are at this point. They're never going to get to this tunnel with the trophy if he doesn't improve those aspects of his game.
Damn, that's just like he blistered him. Blistered him.
He did, and what an interesting thing about that, he said that Dallas fans got it because that game was in Dallas.
Yeah.
But Dallas fans got all over him, but nobody from the Mavericks ever said, "Don't say that." You know,
right.
Like the Mavericks officials agreed with him.
Yeah, here's Windhorst on his Hoops Collective podcast today. The league is rarely caught off guard by a transaction, but here we are, even after 2 days to digest the deal. The two takeaways I've heard most, the Mavs' relationship with Doncic was more fractured than anybody comprehended, and the return from the Lakers was less than anyone expected. So Windhorst is saying the relationship between Doncic and the Mavs was broken, which does, explain why he was available. So there's definitely something going on there. We'll eventually know all this stuff.
After that game, after Brian said that, the next game, Luka scored 29 points, and they blew the Celtics out 122-84.
Right.
So what I'm hoping is that all this negative talk about Luka.
Yes.
He's fat. He doesn't care about conditioning. He doesn't watch what he eats.
Right.
He's got a drinking problem. And all this stuff that's like leaking out of Dallas right now.
Yes.
That Luka's just going to take it as fuel and go on a revenge tour.
That's what he needs to do. That's what he needs to do.
That's what I would do.
Yeah. Hell, I mean, you turn on TV and everybody's talking about you're fat. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm going to find a way to answer that, to respond to that.
And Lisa, my wife, had a great line on this. She said, well, he's in the right place because the number one character trait of anyone living in Los Angeles is vanity.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody in Los Angeles wants to be called fat.
No. Can't be too thin, can't be too rich.
Right.
It's L.A.
So hopefully Luka takes this to heart,
yes,
as they say.
I want to do one thing that we came across that was one of the great reliefs I've had lately. I'm a huge Rams fan, obviously. And the Rams have been unclear on what's going to happen with Matthew Stafford. One guy who is connected to Matthew Stafford is Dan Orlovsky. from
He was
ESPN.
his backup in Detroit for a lot of years.
And loves Stafford.
Yep.
So here's what Orlovsky says about Stafford and whether he will play next year.
I believe Matthew's going to play. I believe if Matthew's going to play, he is going to play for the Rams. I believe pretty firmly that 3 teams have called the Rams about Matthew and have been told it's the Rams or it's the Rams type of thing.
It's the Rams or the Rams. Pay him. Pay the man his money.
I will. I'll say this: I'm not a season ticket holder for the Rams. I am a fan of theirs. I'm a fan of McVay's. I'm a fan of Les Snead's. To me, this is an absolute no-brainer.
Yeah.
With that young defense and Puka Nacua and Kyron Williams.
Yep.
If you bring back Matt Stafford next year, you have a chance to win the whole thing.
Yes.
If you don't, you do not. I think it is that black and white.
Could not agree more.
I would bring him back. I would give him what he wants. You have the lowest paid defense in the NFL. And the other thing I would do, I would get, and I think they're gonna, I would get in this Myles Garrett thing. I think that when you look at what...
Has there been a link yet between Myles Garrett and the Rams?
Well, no. Well, Myles Garrett just announced yesterday that he wants a trade.
Right. Oh, I know.
But here's the thing. You saw how dominant the Rams were with an elite defensive lineman in Aaron Donald, and they have a great young core right now. But can you imagine adding Myles Garrett to their current defensive line and sticking him next to Jared Verse?
Yes.
And to Brandon Fisk. I mean, no, how would you block that line?
Yeah, no, it's impossible. Now, I think the defense, I think already the defense is going to be a top 5 defense in the NFL next year. But you add Myles Garrett, and that's the closest thing you got to Aaron Donald.
Maybe this is how you move Cooper Kupp. You say to Cleveland, we'll give you Cooper Kupp, we'll pay part of his salary, and 2 number ones, and you give us Myles Garrett. And I think that's a win for both teams.
Yeah, I would definitely do that deal. Definitely do that deal.
The Rams gave up 2 number ones for Jalen Ramsey and never looked back.
Yeah.
They gave up 2 number ones for Jared Goff and never looked back.
If you look at their draft the last 2 years, you see how valuable draft picks are because Les Snead is able to find
I'm glad
gold.
you brought it up. You're right. The Rams get tons of people from the draft. But look at where they're coming from. Rounds 3, 4, 5, 6 sometimes. Now, Jared Verse was top.
First, and Braden Fisk was top of the second.
Right.
And
so
they traded up to get him.
Those are 2 great examples. But Cooper Kupp was a 3rd-round pick. Puka Nacua was a 3rd-round pick.
Yep.
If you look at how many times the Rams are able to find value in later rounds, I would give up my number 1. If I was the Rams, and Les Snead does this without me saying it, I'd give up my number 1 picks every year. Every year.
Well, I don't know if every year.
Well, he's pretty much. I think he's had 2 since he's been
right.
Rams
I know,
camp.
but I mean, they got
he traded up to get Jared Goff.
Right.
And then he took Jared Verse.
But they got a superstar on defense last year in the first round.
But Mace, Myles Garrett might be the best defensive lineman
no
in the
question.
NFL. It's
He
either
is.
him or Micah Parsons.
Yeah, no, he's right there.
Yeah.
I look, if the Rams have a chance to do that, I would absolutely give up a 1 and more than 1.
Yeah, I hope they do.
We're going to find out. All right, let's see here. Oh, yeah. It's game time. Oh, thank you, Brian. I have a new partner here. It is ChumbaCasino.com.
They're in the Laker games, too.
I know.
Welcome, Chumba Casino.
Yeah, Chumba is the way this is written. Chumba. Now, I heard Lindsay sings Chumba. Is that what she does? She sings Chumba?
She sure does.
Yeah.
We should get her in here and sing.
We should get her in here to sing. At Chumba Casino, the action never stops. You can play online social casino games anytime, anywhere for free. No purchase necessary. Your playbook is stacked. Take bingo, solitaire, slots, blackjack. I played some blackjack last night. Hundreds of games. You will never run out of action. And here's the kicker. They're dropping fresh games every single week. It's like a highlight reel of fun ready for you to tackle. Plus, free daily login bonuses and a sweet bonus when you join. Now, that's what I call fun. Play for free. Take your shot. You could redeem some awesome prizes. What are you waiting for? The clock is ticking. The game is on. Suit up. Take your shot. Let's chumba. Chumba. I do need Lindsay to sing that for me so I can play that as part of this. Chumba. Head to ChumbaCasino.com. Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Hi, my name is Victoria. I am from Silmar, California, and I just want to say thank you to all the firefighters for everything that you've done. You are so brave, so just amazing and brave, and we appreciate everything you've done for the city.
You know, I want to thank them. You know, without them, the fire wouldn't be the way it is right now. You know, little help like you guys asked for. You know, I got a few bobbleheads, a few jerseys, a few shirts that are brand new, and some baseball cards.
Thank you so much for the first responders and for the firefighters that are helping the community and the people of California, and especially Los Angeles. And thank you so much for your work, and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are the real heroes.
My name's Alfredo Famath, and I'm from Silmar, right next to the Hearst fire. We got evacuated, but I really want to thank the firefighters for saving my house and my friends' houses. You know, I appreciate you guys, and without you guys, I don't know where to be at, you know, probably without a home, but I really appreciate everything you guys do for us.
What's up, everybody? Cappy here, InsideCrypto.com, and I just want to take a second to thank all the first responders, the firefighters, but I'm going to take another direction here. I was talking about it on the air. Our friends at Lazy Dog and LA Live have been feeding all these firefighters. I'm going to send a shout out to all the wait staff who are feeding the firefighters, who can then feel good, be nourished, go to sleep, and then get out there and fight those fires. So to everybody,
communities and our peace of mind. Navigating the recovery process is hard, but you don't have to do it alone. I'm Jacob Amrani, and my team and I are here to help ensure you're treated fairly and get the resources you need. Call us for a free consultation and let us help you rebuild with confidence.
Call Jacob. We're everyday people doing good in our community. Our kindness runs deep, just like our blood. The same blood we donate to help treat sickle cell disease, which hits black people the hardest. Good news is, 1 in 3 black blood donors is a match for someone struggling with sickle cell disease. Stand tall in the eyes of your community. Donate today because our blood saves lives. Visit redcrossblood.org/ourblood to make your donation.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi, golf's newest league. It's sharp and it's electric. How is it sharp? How is it electric? Good questions. Try this on for size. 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime, forcing, playoffs on the line, golf. With 24 of the best players from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams: Atlanta, Boston, Jupiter, LA, New York, and the Bay. This isn't your average Sunday pickup game. Tune in every week for TGL matches, only on ESPN. Keep up. It's golf.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles, and we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
Okay, so here's my idea. Ready?
Yep.
Okay. So, one of the most popular drinks in Slovenia is schnapps. It's like the national.
Like peppermint schnapps?
Like any flavor. Peach schnapps,
Okay.
delicious. So, I want to launch a celebrity schnapps. Me, Sasha Vujicic, Andrzej Kopitar, and Luka Doncic. What do you think?
Why do
Our own schnapps.
Right. Why do they need you?
Because I'm the one that's It's my idea. I could probably trademark this. I don't know what we would call it, but don't you
why
think?
Why wouldn't they trademark it themselves and compete against
Bergman, don't I have a chance here? I'm like the organizer. It's my idea all along. The
right,
celebrity schnapps.
You don't know any of these people.
I know Sasha.
You think Sasha knows your name?
100%.
Text him, John. You're friends with him.
1,000%.
He didn't know Cappy's.
Well, I know, but he knows mine.
If you text Sasha right now, I think you have his number, and just say, "What's my co-host's name?"
Yeah,
that's it.
But wait, you can look that up, right?
No, but don't look it up. What's my co-host's name?
What's my co-host's name? And Sasha's going to say.
Okay.
He's going to say.
I'm texting him right now.
Neve Stason.
I'm going to text him at the same time.
Do you have his number?
Dear Sasha, it's me.
So how are you going to get? It's me.
It's me.
Hello.
It's me. Exactly. No, Sasha definitely knows who I am. And he's
Does
the one,
Andrzej?
I bounced the schnapps thing off him. He said, I can definitely help you with that.
Sure. Does Andrzej?
Okay, Greg, how do I want to word it? Don't look this up. Do you know the name of my radio show co-host?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to bounce right back. Mason?
Say no.
No. You know what I think he's actually going to say it.
Well, he'll say Scott Kaplan.
No, now he's been asked about Scott Kaplan, so that's stuck in his head. No, I mean, I think there's no question he's going to.
Is this wording okay? Don't look this up. Do you know the name of my radio show co-host?
Yes.
Okay.
That works.
Perfect.
He's probably listening right now. What's up, Sasha?
All right.
Mason.
He has notification silence.
Oh,
does
no.
that matter?
That's like Carlo.
No,
he'll
you
look
still
at it.
See it, right?
Carlo,
Yeah, you'll see the dot.
Carlo Saisu always has his notification silent. I don't know even how to do
what.
that. Do you ever know?
I don't even know how to do it.
I don't even know how to do it either.
It's very simple.
And what does it actually do?
What do you mean it's very simple? How do I do it?
So you just pull down from the
I
top.
want to text and talk with less people. How do I do it?
So you pull down the top on your screen, and then there's a little button that says focus. And then you just click that.
Focus. Now, okay, so there's do not disturb, reduce interruptions. What do I want? Do not disturb?
Yeah, do not disturb.
Okay, do not disturb.
And then now you are on do not disturb.
There you go. I don't want to be disturbed.
Focus.
Have we heard back from Sasha yet?
Not yet.
Mason.
All right, hey, can I address something?
Oh, sure.
I keep hearing. I heard it from Charles Barkley. Heard it from a couple other people. This sentiment. I don't think LeBron and Luca can play together. They both need the ball.
Right.
How many times do you people need to see this movie before you figure it out? When LeBron went to Miami, okay?
Yep.
They said LeBron can't coexist with Dwayne Wade. They both need the ball. They go to Miami. They start 9-8. They struggle in the beginning, and then they go to 4 straight NBA Finals and win 2. Then LeBron goes back to Cleveland. And they say, well, Kyrie and LeBron cannot coexist. They both need the ball.
Right.
They go to 4 straight NBA Finals and win 1. What makes you think LeBron's the best passer I've ever seen?
Yeah.
It's either him or Magic. Why do people think LeBron can't adjust his game to? He did it for Wade. He did it for Kyrie. Why don't people realize he can do it for Luka?
Right. Well, I mean, and you mentioned people. Rick Fox. This is a tweet from Rick Fox. He says, having LeBron and Luka is redundant. That's his direct quote. LeBron and Luka, clearly 2 amazing talents in our game today, but they are also clearly redundant on both ends of the floor.
But that's what everyone said about Wade.
Oh,
That's what everyone said about Kyrie. Well, LeBron has to have the ball, so you can't have another ball-dominant player with him. He's won titles with ball-dominant players everywhere he's been.
Yeah, and by the way, they're both very intelligent players. They are able to, they're going to understand how this fits.
Right.
They're going to figure it out. It's a little puzzle that they got to solve. I fully believe they're going to solve the puzzle. And by the way, and this is where, Rob Pelinka comes in. If this team is going to compete this year for a title, they need to add a big. They need to add a big because right now you cannot get by with Jackson Hayes.
Hey, let me ask you about this. You had a story earlier in the show where you said we played that clip from Windhorst.
Yes.
And he
said,
which
one? The one from the series.
Yeah, where he said Luka looks over to the bench and demands that they challenge it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just saying this about Luka. I'm saying this about anybody. Why do NBA players on every team?
Yes, this is a good question.
Demand that their coach challenge something only to lose the challenge.
Right.
I would only demand my coach challenge something if I was 1,000% sure I didn't do it. But every game, Mace, I'll do a game. I'm doing a game tonight at Intuit. At some point, either one of the Lakers or one of the Clippers will do the whirly bird thing with your finger. Challenge it, and they challenge it, and then your challenge is gone. Do these players not understand that they're hurting their team and they're taking away a critical tool for their coach at the end of games? I asked Darvin about that when he was our coach once, and he goes, I've never met a player who thinks he committed a foul.
Correct. Just watch a game. Guys throwing their like me. You called it on me. It would be a service to the game to eliminate. I don't think it can be eliminated, but the complaining and the bitching about fouls is just so annoying.
Don't call for replay if you're not 1,000% sure. All right, coming up next is Game of Games. And
my game today.
Jacob Amrani is going to be the answer to a trivia question for the rest of my life. Do you know what it is? Jacob just walked in. You don't know. Yeah, I've told the story twice on the air. You don't know. You haven't heard it. Okay, you're going to laugh.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's good. Have you heard back from Sasha yet?
Not yet.
I know he's on.
Notifications are silent.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
Find out.
He doesn't know who you are.
He absolutely does.
Okay.
You think 100% he doesn't?
$5,000 mythical money.
Done.
Okay.
Sasha and I connected the last time I saw him. We connected.
This is exactly what Kaplan said.
Right, but I mean...
And we said to him, do you know who Scott Kaplan is? And he said, no, tell me.
He said, enlighten me.
That's what he's going to say.
Me.
The text I'm going to get back is, no, tell me his name.
He's going to say Mason right away. All right, Game of Games coming up next. Jacob Amrani's here to play. Mason in Ireland, 710 ESPN.
All right, if you're looking for a car, you got to go see your Southern California Toyota dealer. Right now, it's never been more important to have a reliable vehicle, and if you need one of those, you got to start at Toyota. Year after year, Toyota delivers quality, reliability, and simply the best vehicles on the road. You can choose from an amazing selection of new vehicles, like the 25 Land Cruiser, the 25 GR Corolla, or the limited 25th edition 2025 Highlander Hybrid. Great deals waiting for you right now. All you got to do is see your Southern California Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com. Toyota, we make it easy. Game of Games coming up next.
Somehow, some way, the superstars end up in Los Angeles.
You don't come here for nothing else than championship, so I have everything left to prove, so the goal is to win the championship.
Welcome home, Luka.
Back to Luka. Luka, step back, another three. Hit it again. And Luka has swished 2 threes.
What does this mean for the Lakers' chances at another chip? I guess it's time to find out.
Luka still dribbling, wide open for 3. Good.
It's a gift. We're talking about a 25-year-old that is top 3 player in the universe.
I get to play in the greatest club in the world, and I'm excited for this new journey.
I can't think of a more amazing starting point to build a roster for the next decade, and I know he has the drive to win that we have here. Our fans are going to see that every night on the court.
This is the home of the Lakers and the new home of Luka. 710 ESPN.
ESPN LA and Beverly Hills Orthodontics are teaming up because we want to know who's smiling in SoCal. Go to ESPNLA.com and nominate who you think is making LA a better place. This can be a mentor, a teacher, a coach, a good Samaritan, a youngster who brightens your day. Tell us who's smiling and you could win some awesome prizes like sweet tickets from ESPN LA, Sonic Care electric toothbrushes, whitening treatment, and a grand prize of Invisalign from Beverly Hills Ortho. Enter now at ESPNLA.com and remember you're always smiling at Beverly Hills Orthodontics.
This February, NextGen is making it easy to show someone you care with their Buy a Membership, Give a Membership special. When you sign up to become a NextGen VIP, you'll have the opportunity to give someone you care about a 6-month VIP membership absolutely free. With a NextGen membership, you'll both enjoy priority service, exclusive discounts, and peace of mind all year long. Don't wait. Call 833-3-NEXTGEN today to take advantage of this limited time offer.
NEXGEN. Call 833-3-NEXTGEN.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the place for skilled skydiving instructors, accomplished airbrush artists, and proficient pediatricians. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, missing out. ZipRecruiter is the place that's so confident it can make your hiring easier that it lets you try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. So if you want the right candidates for all your roles, ZipRecruiter is the place to go. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
710 ESPN.
And it is time for Game of Games on the #1 sports radio show in LA, Mason and Ireland. Game of Games. Game of Games presented by CallJacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but CallJacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to CallJacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle.
Call Jacob.
Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
All right, Jacob Amrani's going to play Game of Games. Now, you did hear from Sasha Vujacic. How's Sasha?
Mason.
All right, I'm going to read first what I sent him and what he sent me back.
Okay, good.
I sent Do not look this up. Do you know the name of my radio show co-host? His response. Ewan Mace! Exclamation point.
Wow.
Mason! Exclamation point.
Wow.
So I owe you $5K.
Yeah, there you go.
By the way, did you get the wine?
I did get the wine. It's fantastic.
No. Like, he sent us a
didn't get the
case here.
He gave me a bottle when we were out at Ralph's last week, and we polished that thing off in a night. That is a delicious wine.
Yeah. So Jacob,
Alexander wine.
You do not know why you'll be an answer to a trivia question in my life for the rest of my life?
I don't know yet. But
Okay.
Tell me.
True story. Saturday night, I'm in Madison Square Garden. I'm working the game. I get on the bus. I go back to the hotel. I walk into my hotel room, and I have 117 texts. The very first text, number one on the list of 117, Jacob Amrani with three words. Is this real?
Yeah,
with a
that's
question
true.
mark.
Yep.
And I didn't know what you were asking about. And then the next text, wait, did the Lakers just trade AD? We're getting Luka? I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
And then,
The whole thing
so
completely
you were the
surreal.
first one
I
who got
love
to
that.
me. You broke the story in my life.
I love that.
Yeah, you broke the story for him.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so I got a game today. It's Luka related. The Lakers have successfully stolen Luka away from the Dallas Mavericks, greatest basketball player ever from Slovenia. Meanwhile, Anže Kopitar of the Kings is the greatest Slovenian hockey player of all time. They are really the two greatest athletes in Slovenian history. So I've got a game about Luka, Anže, and Slovenia.
Okay.
And we got four players, Jacob, Ireland, Bergman, and Brian. Here is question number one. What is one of the most popular national traditions in Slovenia? It is either beekeeping or kiting, flying kites. Jacob, which one is it?
I will go with kites.
Kites. Ireland.
I'm with Jacob. Kites.
Bergman.
Kites.
Kites. Brian.
Kites.
Unanimously wrong.
Why did you think of kites?
It is beekeeping. I don't know what made me think of kites.
What, beekeeping?
Beekeeping, yeah.
Okay.
Very popular in Slovenia. Number two. He once bought a round of drinks for his whole hometown. Is that Luka Doncic or Anže Kopitar, Ireland?
Kopitar.
Says Kopitar. Bergman.
Kopitar.
Kopitar. Brian.
Kopitar.
Kopitar. Jacob.
Go with the group.
Kopitar is the right answer, yes.
I figured when they won the Stanley Cup, probably.
Was after they beat Slovakia in the 2014 Winter Olympics, he told everybody in his hometown he would pick up the tab for their drinks. So it is... everybody's got one. Number three. He has a German Labrador retriever named Gatsby. Not German. He has a Labrador retriever named Gatsby. Is that Luka or is that Anže? Bergman?
That is Luka.
Says that's Luka. Brian?
Luka.
Luka. Jacob?
Luka.
Luka. Ireland.
I'm going the other way. Anže.
And you were right to do it. Yes. Luka he's obsessed with his dogs also. He's got two dogs, one named Hugo and one named Gia, but the Labrador retriever that Anže Kopitar has is Gatsby. So Ireland has taken a lead. Here's number four. There is a traditional Slovenian dish made of buckwheat and filled with cottage cheese, walnuts, and honey. What is this dish called? It is either strukji or dankton. Strukji or dankton. We start with Brian.
Dankton.
Dankton. Jacob.
Strukji.
Strukji. Ireland.
Strukji.
Strukji. And Bergman.
Dankton.
Dankton. The correct answer. Strukji. I have no idea if I'm saying it right. I put it phonetically on my page. Dankton is just made up. It doesn't even sound good. Would you like to have some Dankton? It sounds awful.
Dankton was delicious.
Ireland's got a lead. 3. Jacob 2. Bergman 1. Brian 1. We move on to number 5. He has a tattoo of the Latin phrase non desistas, non exeris, translated as never give up, never surrender. Is that Luka or is that Anže Kopitar? Jacob.
I'm going with Luka.
Luka. Ireland.
Luka.
Luka. Bergman.
Luka.
Luka. Brian.
Kopitar.
Correct answer is Luka. Yes. Never give up, never surrender. One of his tattoos. All right. Ireland's got a lead. He's got 4. Jacob's got 3. Bergman 2. Brian 1. We move on to number 6. He is a huge fan of the Rocky movies, and he regularly uses Eye of the Tiger as one of his go-to hype songs. Is that Luka or is that Anže Kopitar? Ireland, you've got a lead, so we'll start with you.
I don't know this one. Who would be more likely? I'm going to go Kopitar.
Going to go Kopitar. Jacob.
I'm going to go Kopitar, too.
Kopitar. Brian.
Kopitar.
Kopitar. Bergman.
Sure, Kopitar.
Kopitar is the correct answer. Yes, loves the Rocky movies. All right, here we go.
Luka would be a little young for that.
Yeah.
Slovenian inventor Josef Resel invented this in 1797. Is it the parachute or the hot air balloon? Invented in Slovenia, the parachute or the hot air balloon? Ireland, you are a leader. You go first.
Hot air balloon.
Hot air balloon. Jacob.
Agreed. Same.
Agreed. Bergman.
Hot air balloon.
Hot air balloon. Brian.
Parachute.
Parachute is the correct answer.
Oh,
yeah.
way to go, Brian.
What's weird about it, I read up on this. This is like pre-plane. There were no planes, and he still invented
So
a
what
parachute.
do you use the parachute for?
They jumped from high heights to test
Okay.
it. Number 8. Ireland maintains a 5-4 lead over Jacob. Bergman 3, Brian 3. Which of these?
How many of these are there?
There are 2 more.
Okay.
Which of these lines appears in the Slovenian national anthem? When o'er earth's habitations, or welcome thee with salutations. When o'er earth's habitations, or welcome thee with salutations, is it A or B, Ireland?
A.
Says A. Jacob.
B.
B.
Taking your shot.
Yep,
Bergman.
this is
B.
it.
B. Brian.
B.
Correct answer. John Ireland.
Oh, man.
I locked it up.
Habitations, you
Are
got
you
it locked
serious?
up. That's
Locked it up.
unbelievable.
Jacob, you come for the king. You best not
Yeah.
miss.
All right, last one here, just for fun. Slovenia has a great natural wonder. What is it? Is it a huge underground cave system or 40 acres of petrified forest, Jacob?
The forest.
Forest. Ireland?
I'm with Jacob. Forest.
Brian?
Cave.
Greg?
Forest.
The correct answer is cave. Yeah, it's got a huge cave system underneath it. All right, here, let's do the tiebreaker. Do some math. If you add Andrzej Kopitar's career points to Luka Doncic's career assists, what is the total? So it's Kopitar points plus Luka assists. What is the total? Everybody thinking?
Yeah.
What do you got, John?
2,100.
2,100. Jacob?
3,200.
3,200. Bergman?
2,400.
2,400. And Brian?
4,200.
Brian takes the number, yeah. Andrzej Kopitar has 1,254 career points, and Luka has 3,489
Wow,
assists.
way more assists than I thought he
a lot
had.
more assists.
Yeah.
So there you have it. There is your Slovenia, Andrzej Kopitar, Luka Doncic. So you got to be excited, Jacob. It's fantastic.
Man, I was supposed to go out Saturday night.
So wait a minute. So I have this story in my head correct. How did you find out?
So I'm sitting in my room waiting
You're
for
home.
at home.
Okay.
Waiting for my wife to get ready to go out. My boys who were getting ready to go out.
Oh, that's
to a
right. It was
party.
earlier here.
Right.
Yes.
Because it was probably almost
9
midnight
o'clock.
in New York.
Yeah, 9 o'clock. My 2 older boys getting ready to go to a party. One of them runs into the room yelling, "We got Luka! We got Luka!" I'm like, "You're crazy."
My reaction exactly.
Sounded like a prank.
Yeah, I looked at it, and even on X, you have all these like fake accounts that
Right.
always like throw these. So
Yeah.
I said that can't be it. Then I got another text from somebody. Is this true? I said the only person that can tell me if this is true is John.
Yep.
So I sent a text message to John, and obviously, and I know you were in the middle of whatever you're doing. I'm like, it can't be true. And then it just kept coming, and then I, went on different sites and everyone. And then Shams says, it's real. He himself says, I'm not hacked. This is real. And
it makes no sense.
Yeah.
And we didn't go out that night because I was sitting in front of I sat in front of ESPN watching the same thing, and then my wife goes like this an hour later. How many people watch the same thing hour after hour?
All of us.
All of us.
Yeah, we all do.
So it was just it's been nuts. It's been great.
Mavericks just announced no AD tonight against the Sixers.
All right.
So neither AD nor Luka will play for their new teams tonight.
A chance still that Luka would play on Saturday and make his Lakers debut. Will you be there, Jacob? It's it's like a 1 o'clock game, right? 1
o'clock.
1
I
o'clock.
have already made sure that I'm there on Saturday. I've already made sure that I'm going to be there.
Another game Monday.
On Monday,
right, but
the Utah game.
More important than that is the 25th against Dallas.
Oh,
is that February 25th?
February 25th, Dallas is coming back here. So those are the two games.
Oh, that's a great
that
game.
I cannot
Wow.
wait to be at. But, I think we got to do something to put a smile on Luka's face. I mean,
No. We want him mad, Jacob. We want this
Yeah,
guy.
I think we want him pissed off.
Yeah, I hope a bunch of people in cowboy hats show up at his first game and call him fat and yell at him and say he's out of shape. And Luka will just go, I'm going to dump 60 on you people.
He kept saying it's motive. He's got a motive behind it. Man, I got to tell you, I know L.A. is buzzing. I mean, the fan
it's
base
crazy.
is going to go crazy for him. A lot of excitement.
So what is LA's most important attorney going to do for the Super Bowl? Are you throwing a party? Are you going to a party? Do you camp out in front of the TV? How does it work for Jacob Amrani?
So, yes, my team's not playing.
Yeah,
so,
mine either.
5 years ago, I went to, Houston to watch, it was, I think, Patriots against – I don't know who, Atlanta.
Yeah.
And, I'm a fan. I got to be there yelling and screaming for my team. So, yes, I'm going to be at a party. But one of the things that we are going to do is we are going to be giving away free meals at the LA
Good for
Food
you.
Bank.
Oh,
and
wow.
basically what we're going to do is for every point scored, we're going to give away 49 meals.
Wow.
So we're hoping to
a
give away
high-scoring game.
Like a 50 to 49 game.
Yes.
The thing that Mace, I don't know if you normally leave at halftime, so you don't see this. In the second half at Laker games, Jacob is the sponsor for this fan of the game promotion.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, can you believe how into it people get? People compete for this thing like they're winning a gold medal if they win it.
Yes.
And sometimes, they'll narrow it down to two final. It's like my favorite thing you sponsor because they'll get a shot of some guy and he's going crazy. He's dancing up a storm. He's got his face painted. He's going crazy. Then they'll cut to some kid, and this kid could moonwalk, and he's moonwalking down the aisle. And it's like, I don't know who I'd pick. And there's pictures, video of Jacob,
and I'm dancing too.
Oh, you're dancing. Well, he does that.
And Ray, who
Ray
does
is
our
fantastic.
events,
I love that guy.
He's the in-house guy, and he's down there dancing.
Yeah.
Ray's awesome.
Ray's a great guy. What's Ray's last name? Help me. Ray.
He's Ray on the mic. That's his Instagram handle.
He does our Mandy's every year.
Castillo.
Yes,
Ray Castillo.
Yeah.
There you go.
He's the best person they've ever had in that job.
He's terrific. He's got great charisma, I think. And by the way, you do the same thing at Rams games. With you get out, get everybody up.
Yeah,
You're
I don't know
on the
if the
big
Rams
board.
fans get as into it as the Laker fans do. For the Laker fans, it's a battle to the death.
Right.
Oh, one night. They should put one camera on me and one on you.
Oh, I'm for that.
And then see what
That
happens.
would be awesome.
I would do that.
All right. I'm gonna
I
have
would
a
do that in a
conversation.
second.
We're going to have a conversation.
Oh, yeah, no, because I'll dance my ass off to win that thing.
Although you have to stay for the second
I'll
half.
stay. I'll stay if I'm going to dance. I mean,
For that reason, he'll stay.
I never turn down an opportunity to show off my dance.
There you go.
Yeah, it's one of my arts. All right, hey Jacob, it's great seeing you, man.
Great to see you guys.
Game of Games brought to you by Jacob Amrani. Remember, if you were involved in any sort of accident, there's only one guy you want, and that is Jacob. 844-24 Jacob. That's 844-24 Jacob. Or remember, call jacob.com. Great seeing you.
Great to see you guys.
Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN. We got Super Crosstalk coming up next.
ESPN LA and Beverly Hills Ortho are teaming up because we want to know who's smiling in SoCal. Go to ESPNLA.com and nominate who you think is making LA a better place. Could be a mentor, a teacher, a coach, a good Samaritan, or you could nominate yourself. You could win prizes like sweet tickets, Sonic Care electric toothbrushes, whitening treatment, or the grand prize, Invisalign. Enter now at ESPNLA.com. And remember, you're always smiling at Beverly Hills Ortho.
14th, right after the big game, so don't fumble the flowers. Get your order in now. Go to Books.com, use my promo code Canty for 25% off. That's BOUQS.com, promo code Canty. Books, promo code Canty.
Hey, it's Mace. Looking for some fun and excitement? You got to check out Chumba Casino. It's 100% free to play. No purchase required. Enjoy hundreds of thrilling social casino games anytime, anywhere, like bingo, slingo, slots, and solitaire. Whether you're chilling at home or on the go, get in the action. Play now for a chance to redeem some serious prizes at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus TNCs apply.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles.
KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Sedano and Cap to join Mason and Ireland?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk, presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, made to chill.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
Hey, there's Cappy. What's up, man?
You know, John Ireland, you took the words right out of my mouth
when
Steve Mason said that he would be into a, call Jacob fan of the game dance contest.
Yeah.
I swear to you, I'm sitting here listening going, he ain't doing that.
Oh, absolutely.
There ain't no way he's doing that.
I'm on.
Seriously. But I was saying because that requires you to stay for the second half of the game.
Exactly.
Anything for dance.
So,
Cappy, if dance is involved, I'm in.
There's a chance, Cap, that the Lakers will prohibit me from doing this because they want an actual fan to win it.
Right.
Okay.
And if they do, since I'm an employee, Cap, you are my, in case of emergency, break glass backup quarterback.
Now, I don't expect to. I'm not winning anything. I'm just doing it for the fun and for the joy of dance.
Okay. Well, I am going to also do it for the joy and the fun of dance, but for the spirit of competition.
Yes.
And, Mace, the one thing I learned the last time you and I had a dance-off, which, as you may recall, was a twerk-off.
That was not good.
Who won?
I did.
Mace won.
Do you feel it was judged fairly, Cap?
I do. I feel like I really screwed something up, which was this. John, there was a giant tree right on the sidewalk.
That's true.
Okay.
And
where did this take place?
This was
this
at
competition.
Bastard's Canteen.
Yes.
Okay, where we were doing a Veterans Day show, right?
What part of town was that in, Mace? Can you think of where that was?
Bastard's Canteen.
Come on.
I'll look
Bernie.
it up. Keep talking.
Where were we? So, John, when the competition ended, the clock had struck 0.
Downey, by the way. It's in Downey.
Downey. I then decided to break out my best move, John. And had I used my better move during the actual timed portion of the dance contest, I think I would have actually pulled the victory.
You have good bits, Cap, but your execution is always off. I always thought when I beat you in the Christmas sing-off that had you not gone to that goofy voice, you would have beat me.
Oh, right. You went to the Sandler voice.
Yeah. Had you not gone to the Sandler voice, I thought your song was good, your presentation was good, but you did this goofy Sandler voice, and people were confused by it, and then they gave it to me.
Right.
So if you do represent us as a dance team, Cap, I want you going all out with your best moves right out of the gate.
Okay. All right. I will do that. I'll be working on that immediately.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact.
Are you going to – now, there's a chance he's going to play on Saturday. You're not coming up on Saturday, are you?
No, I'm actually going to be flying back on
right. You're in
Saturday.
New Orleans.
So, Cap, you're doing something that I always do. This is funny. I have broadcasted from probably no fewer than 10 Super Bowls.
Yep.
Stayed for the game once.
Yeah, you gotta get out of here.
9 times out of 10, I just get out of there.
I've been there for 4 Super Bowls. I saw Denver win in 2016, Rams lose in 2018, Rams win in 2021, and I went to one. I went to the one where Eli Manning beat the undefeated Patriots. I happened to be there that day.
That was in Arizona.
In Arizona, yeah. So those are the 4 times. But lots of times you go to the game and then you don't even stay for the game.
Right. I think I can only count a few times. I think the Rams beating the Titans in the Super Bowl in Atlanta was one.
25 years ago.
Yeah. San Francisco, Peyton Manning, and the Broncos beating the Carolina Panthers Super Bowl 50, which was in Santa Clara.
By the way, this is
Yeah,
not
I was at that one.
This is not uncommon. One of my best friends used to be a production manager for the NFL.
Yeah.
And so he would go in on a Monday or Tuesday and set up the trucks. So the trucks would roll in. He would set up the cameras, pull the cables, get all that stuff done. He'd normally have it done by Friday, Saturday at the latest, and never, ever stayed for the game. He would do it for because he would never have any days off if he did.
Yeah. I remember being there one time when I sat in the auxiliary tent. They had I forget where this was. They had the stadium, and then they had a big tent where they stuck all the media to watch it on TV. I remember doing that one time.
The game that I think you mentioned earlier, Mace, the Rams against the Patriots. Did you say that one in?
Yeah, I was in Atlanta for that one. Yeah,
that game I went to try and find my seat because I actually stuck around for that game and I had a credential and I had a seat.
Ugh.
And I got up to the top of the stadium, and I'm not joking with you. I was at the very, very, very top of the stadium. And then they open up the middle of the roof.
Oh, right. It's so cool the way that it's sort of like an Oculus that slowly opens. Yeah.
And I thought I was going to be sucked up and out of the stadium because that's how far up I was.
Oh, you were right there.
Yeah.
Huh?
So, yeah, usually I get out of here before the game.
Who's the coolest person you've met so far or seen so far?
Gosh, I haven't really today's Tuesday. And in case you didn't know what day of the week it was.
Thank you for the update.
And I feel like the whole convention center is filled up with people, but everybody's doing their own thing. And I haven't seen a lot of big star celeb types walk through here yet. But I had now I got people calling me going, hey, you want to have Marcus Allen on the show? And I'm like, I mean, I love Marcus Allen. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'd love to have Marcus Allen. I'm like,
yeah.
Sure, we talking about this. And they're like, nah, he's talking about CTE. And he's promoting this from Emory University.
That's the only problem with Radio Row is you get people, and then but part of the deal is you've got to talk about their thing, whatever you got to talk about Flomax or I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Flomax is good. That's something that you might need.
There's Roger Staubach for Flomax.
Right. I will tell you guys, you guys will appreciate this because we've all been around it a long time.
Yep.
That back in the old days, my very first year ever on Radio Row was 1997.
Wow.
And here's a name from radio years past that you guys will enjoy.
Okay.
Back then, I can remember me, and you guys remember the Bulldog, Joseph Totino.
Oh, Joe. Yeah, Joe Totino.
Joe Totino.
Great guy.
He is the voice of the LA Galaxy.
Yes.
Okay. And Joe was producing for Jim Rome.
Yep.
And I was in my first ever assignment. I was producing for, rest in peace, one of my mentors, Hank Goldberg. And back then, nobody had computers. Nobody had smartphones. There was no internet.
Lee Hamilton had the high-speed sports wire.
That is true, but he wasn't there yet. and all I know is this, is that there weren't PR people booking guests in advance.
Right.
It was just people walked through the convention center, and you as a producer grabbed them and put them on the air.
Sure.
And me and the Bulldog had waged a war that year. Joe on behalf of Jim Rome and me on behalf of Hank Goldberg. And all we did was battle over grabbing guys and sitting them down.
It was a battle.
It was a war.
Mason has the greatest Joe Totino story that I have not made him tell in a few years. So tell the Joe Totino story.
By the way, Shinano is here too. Hey, what's up, George?
Yeah, sorry.
George, where are you?
I'm home because I have to wake up for a very early flight to get to OKC on game day tomorrow.
Gotcha.
Is not the easiest place in the world to get to.
Okay, so I was on the air at the Mighty 690, which was owned by John Lynch.
Right.
Who, the GM of the 49ers' father.
Right. And by the way, this was going way, way back. This was probably like 93, 94, something like that. So I was having a conversation about the fact that the air staff was very, very white. Somebody called.
I think a caller called and said, "How come you guys don't have any minorities?"
Yeah, why is there no people of color on your station? And I said, I can't speak to that, but the powers that be make those kinds of decisions and let the guy go. Then John Lynch comes into the studio during the break, during a commercial break.
This already sounds bad.
And he says, "You got to remind people that we have Joe Totino on the air, and he's Latino."
Oh my God!
So I go on the air and say Mr. Lynch, the owner of the station, just came in and reminded me Joe Totino is here, and he's Latino, obviously.
This is going to get bad from here.
No, Joe just walked in and said, I'm Italian. But it counted for John Lynch.
Oh, my God. Listen, you guys know that I know Old Man John.
Yep.
And I know him well.
Yep.
And that does not surprise you in the least?
Listen, I would tell one of the all-time greatest stories, Mace, but I don't know if I can clean it up enough about what he said to you.
Oh, right. Nah, don't do that one.
All right, here.
Yeah.
Cappy, I'll do a story for you before we get out of here. Are you ready?
Yep.
So today, Mason pops off in the third hour of the show and says, we were talking about Sasha Vujacic, and he does exactly what you did last week, Cappy. He goes, me and Sasha are tight. And I look at Mason and go, Sasha has no idea who you are. And he goes, oh, he does, 100%. Text him right now. So I text Sasha. This is all I say. Don't look this up. Do you know the name of my radio show co-host? And we don't get anything. It says
he had his do not disturb.
Yeah, notices are silent.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right.
So about 6-7 minutes later.
Wait, don't tell me. Did he say something like enlighten me?
No, for you, when we asked him about you, we said, do you know who Scott Kaplan is? And he said, no, tell me.
Tell me. Enlighten me.
Enlighten me.
Okay. For this, he says, and Mason and I bet $5,000 in mythical money. I said he has no idea what your name is. May says he 100% does. Cappy, the exact road you went down a week ago. Sasha texts me back. You and Mace! Exclamation point. Mason!
Nice.
Exclamation point.
Nice.
By the way, did you get the wine?
Not yet.
And he says it's coming tomorrow. Cap, are you coming up here this week?
Well, I'm down here in New Orleans all
right.
week.
Oh, in New Orleans already.
All right, well,
yeah.
when you come back, there'll be a bottle of wine.
Yeah, there'll be a bottle
you.
of wine here for you. He
Nice.
promised you a case, but I don't think you're going to get the full case.
No, but in the end, he did deliver the case. It's just that I'm only getting one of 12.
That is true. So there is a case. Technically, I guess you were right.
Technically.
And you'll get a free bottle of wine out of it.
Yes.
Oh, I got time for one more story.